I'm gonna progressively just get more and more lit this hour.
Right,
That's with my little soy sauce.
Go right ahead.
Soy sauce bottle.
So I'm watching that bottle, Sushi. She's gonna finish that bottle. I'm gonna see if she's gonna reach down and grab another one. Be like,
I will. I probably
on a sneak tip. Yeah.
Prepare your complaints. That's funny.
Prepare.
So yeah, welcome everybody to GeekGasm.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? How you doing?
We got a full house tonight. So I'm going to get straight to it. I'm going to hit the intro, and then we'll come back and do our introductions. Here we go. Welcome back, guys. I am Lola, your indie princess, and I am joined by a whole bunch of people tonight. So let's start with Sushi.
What's up, guys? Oh, God, baby. What, is it my turn to introduce myself? I don't know.
It is.
Okay. Oh, my God. My name is Sukeisha. People call me Sushi. I'm an artist and a singer. I specifically like to draw anime hentai. Yes, that's saucy. Yes, that's me.
Nice.
Okay, tally ho, that's me. Anyway.
Hello, everybody. I'm Varian Grant. I founded Indie Volt Media LLC way back in 2000. What was it? It's been 4 years now. I've been making comics since 2008, though, and that's a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm here because Lola said you have to get in. I'm not sure who's coming, so I, peeled myself off the sofa, came in here, saw Dustin Brunell, said, "What the fuck?" And then I was stuck. So
have that effect on people.
Yeah. But Sushi's here, so we get to make fun of people. We get to make fun of people together, so that's why.
It'll be great, guys. Yes.
We're gonna Matt. How about you, Matt? Introduce yourself.
What's going on, man? Matt Knowles. I'm one half of Team InSim. I have a sneaking suspicion that at some point in the next few minutes, you might be introduced to the other half of Team InSim, but I'll let that happen when it may. So we are known for our steampunk, our medieval, our death metal, all that kind of stuff. We are not really known for our all ages and family-friendly stuff, but we're going to talk about that a little more tonight. And I'll let the other half of Team InSim talk about that when her introduction comes up as we go around the dial here.
We got a comment from Jennifer. Sushi, your energy is contagious.
Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that.
ENFP, by the way, stands for extra noisy fucking person. So, sorry, I just thought I'd throw that out there quick before my family joins and hears me say that.
Well, since you're talking, it is your turn to introduce yourself.
Hey, so Charlie McElvy, aka the Spider Squirrel, you guys see it right there. American Ninja Warrior contestant. I don't know, I do all kinds of crazy shit all the time. Also the creator of Spider Squirrel and Trash Panda. So we'll talk more about that as we go.
Can I get excited about anything called Trash Panda too?
Trash Panda, I love it.
I honestly, I've met a couple people in this panel, which is really, really cool. I think I met Sushi. Jim and I met Sushi in MegaCon, actually. We were on the cover with her. Very, very cool chick. And you guys all know Varian and Lola. They're great folks. And Matt. So one cool thing before I get into myself, Matt Knowles, guys, I saw him at a show years ago. And I was so excited. And I have to bring it up every time I see him or do a panel with him because it was always the coolest thing because, you talk about motherfuckers with energy, right? It shows. And they bring it to the hilt, man. And it's so much fun. And it's always an honor to share panels with them, guys. So make sure you're paying attention to all the cool stuff that Team InSim's got going on. But anyway, I am Dustin Brunell. If you don't know me, I'm sorry you don't. Let me introduce myself just a little bit. I do Greed. I do The Listener. And I do currently Babes, Gore, and Dinosaurs is my newest IP. We're coming up. We just had our year anniversary. Greed 2 is running right now with 3 days left. Really, really stoked about that. And we may have some cool stuff to talk about for this Christmas holiday. So anyway, with that, I am me, you are you, and that's Carl. So let's talk about Carl a little bit.
Hey, everyone. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Did you say something?
Yeah, it's Carl Dutchin, but everybody knows me in the industry as Dutch. I'm a professional comic book flatter on a hi-fi design team, as well as for other artists, and the creator of the comic The Wayfarer. So Kickstarter running right now. So I appreciate you guys all being in here. I feel like I should throw up an X. You know, I like
Hollywood.
Charlie there. Spider Squirrel's got the center square. So
That's our other show.
so appreciate being on here, guys. Thank you. Off to you, Steph.
Hey everyone, I'm Steph Cannon. I am the other half of In Symmetry Creations. As Matt said, we are mostly known for doing steampunk titles, medieval titles, death metal. We are here tonight, oddly enough, I'm regretting this decision to talk about our all ages title. The perfect venue for it, right? I'm sure our audience is the all ages demographic completely. But we do have it on Kickstarter right now, so that's what we are here to shill and talk about. And Charlie, I had no idea. I don't know how I missed that you were an American Ninja Warrior contestant. My sister was a set designer and toured with them. So you guys may have actually been traveling around the same areas, which is kind of cool to think about.
Did she do season 10?
Possibly.
All right, we'll talk later.
I'll have to find out. Yeah, I'll have to find out. But I thought that was a kind of cool coincidence.
That is cool.
Well, you know what's even cooler is that I watch American Ninja Warrior. That's right. I don't participate at all. That's too much.
But he's got some muscles like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah.
Varian participates in American Couch Warrior.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that one.
He's the champion.
That's right. That's right. How long will these ass cheek indentions last in the same?
How fast can you open that bag of potato chip?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I don't have the strength for that. I'm like, help! Someone help me get fatter. Gilly, how about you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm a American Ninja Warrior watcher. Okay, and I've been watching since it was all Japanese, and then they made it American. So it was this intriguing show. A little about me: I'm an underground comic book writer, and right now I currently got Galactic Rodents of Mayhem on Kickstarter.
Yeah. All right.
And in a nutshell, it's the capybara love child of TMNT and Star Wars, conceived during a Saturday morning cartoon marathon. Okay,
Dude,
if that sounds like it hooked
totally
you,
sold
check
me.
me out.
Yeah, no, I mean, look. So I'll tell you guys a quick story. So Gilly, he messages me on my Kickstarter. He's like, hey, I like what you got going on, da. Hey, I got one too. And I was like, all right, well, people slide in your DMs all the time, right? So Gilly slides in mine. I'm like, check it out. I go over and I'm like, I read that first line, like the capybara love child of Star Wars and TMNT. I'm like, fuck it, I'm sold.
Yeah.
I'm big on the 90s and 80s nostalgia, so I just want to divvy that same goodness out in a fresh wrapping with Space Capybara. So thanks for the invite, guys, and it's good to be on with some like-minded creators, and very cool. Appreciate it.
Jason is demanding a live variant.
Yeah, get on.
Dude, he's in his drawers. We don't want to see this. Come on now.
I'm not even sure I got drawers on. I might have to.
We demand it.
All right, I don't have my hat on. I have to get my hat. I have to get my
as long as you got drawers on, I don't care about the hat.
Yeah.
Hey, Gilly, Steph and I just backed your campaign too, man. Charlie just sold us on it. We just backed you guys.
Charlie, I appreciate that. You do it better than me, man. I appreciate that. Matt, Steph, thanks for the backing.
Yeah, I got you, man.
Appreciate the backing. Big time. Thank you so much.
Gilly, if you get
more spikes.
I need 2% of that. You gotta send me 2% of what you make.
Are you talking about what I'm drinking? It's higher than 2%. Oh, what were you talking about? I don't know.
I do have a question from Indie Vote Radio for you guys, and and this is great for everyone to answer. So, publishers, writers, artists, and this one comes from Chelsea. Chelsea says that I'll read it. I'm very upset with a creator I'm working with. After doing the art, I thought that I could do a better job and asked to be allowed to work on the pages again. The publisher told me no, and publish the comic anyway. I'm upset because this isn't putting my best work forward. I didn't want any extra money, just more time to go back and complete the pages. Am I an asshole for not wanting to do the second issue now?
Yeah, because she should have put her she should have put her best work forward in the first place. She shouldn't have lacked on it. Now that's her fault. Now some shit work is gonna go out there because she didn't want to do the work in the first place.
So I think we probably need to know a little bit more about the story. Did they give her a 2-week time frame to get the whole thing done? Was she distracted? Were there any other issues? What did she bring into the equation here besides, hey, I want more time? Because if she's working with a publisher, they might have a publishing schedule. They can't be like, we can just give you more time. It might already be in previews. They might already have distribution contracts that are expecting that issue. I'm not saying I know that, but I'm like, there may be some other extenuating circumstances out there that we don't really know. But what do you think, Gilly? Tell us what you think.
You guys zeroed in on the right person here. As someone who's dealt with a lot of artists, I've received pages where you might want a little extra amendments here and there. When you're working with a publisher, there's a lot of parameters in play. As Matt said, there's things that factor into the equation that we might not be privy to. I would always say remain professional at all times because you don't want to burn any bridges moving forward. As far as if you're being an asshole for not doing the second book, I wouldn't say that. I would just say take a moment to reflect, and now's your chance to put in your best foot forward on the second issue. Because if people read the first issue, okay, they're locked into the second issue. You got a lot of framework there to still fix upon. So I wouldn't get bent out of shape and burn any bridges. Just know that everything is a learning curve in whatever you do, and you got today to make it better for tomorrow.
Exactly. I totally agree with you on that one, Gilly.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it boils down to the fact that you look at certain things like, Lola pointed at a minute ago. There are so many talented folks out there, right? Like so many talented folks, and several people in here are writers. You know what I mean? So if you were to look at mine or Gilly's or Matt's emails or instant messages, there's always somebody that wants to work for you once you get to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
People are always reaching out. Hey, look, I'd like to do a new issue, or I'd like to do a cover, or whatever, what have you. And most of the time, me speaking for myself, I'm like, cool, look, I'm booked for X amount of months. You know what I mean? So if we come in and we're like, okay, you're up, it's your turn to bat, and you don't bring your A game, there's somebody behind you that's willing to bring their A game as soon as the game starts. They're not waiting for round 2 to show you everything they've got. And I understand that things happen in life and shitty situations and whatever else and what have you may take your mind away from things. But at the same time, it's a job. You know what I mean? Like you don't go to your job and go, hey, look, I did half-ass today and expect full pay or this and that. Because right, especially if you go to an ongoing series. Like I don't write short stories, right? So when it came down to me next year putting in a new artist for one of my books and my interiors, I was really bummed because I didn't want to have to do that. You know what I mean? So when we go, and it was my choice, I had to make that decision. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what if you were the guy that was doing promo work, right? You were the one doing the promo work for the book, and you were looking for a full-time job after that. And I'm like, man, that guy does the work just as much as the interior guy does. He's the one that I should bring in. But the last couple pieces he sent me were half-ass. You know what I mean? It's a very up-in-the-air situation. Like Matt said, it's very, situational. It's always going to be different with everybody you work with, and sometimes you have a little bit of leeway you give folks. Other times you don't. So burning bridges, like if you burnt my bridge, right? If you burn a bridge with me and then turned around and went to, let's say you went to Jim Noble after you burn a bridge with me, you know what I mean? Jim's going to be like, man, you burnt my friend out of X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want you burning me for X amount of dollars either, so that's the best hat I've ever seen in my life.
Off topic real quick.
That is a dope hat. That's what's up. Steph, you got a question?
All right. So listen.
Sarah has been on many. So like Matt is doing 8 shows in, I don't know, 5 days or some insanity like that. And Sarah is such an awesome supporter, you guys. She is on watching and commenting on every show. She is such an awesome supporter of indie comic creators.
Love that,
He's
yeah.
done some in the morning that are literally like before the sun is up because I'm in California. So he's been doing a lot of morning shows, but I'm still watching as I'm getting the kids ready for school and stuff. So
he'll be
So
on
in
our
answer
morning
to
show
your
tomorrow.
question, so are Matt and Steph a couple? I'm guessing completely off topic. We are a couple of badass creators who live in Florida and California respectively. I'm here with my family in Florida. She's there with her family in California. But we know that distance doesn't make any difference because we knew that we'd be better as a pair of creators working together to be able to do everything that we needed when we first formed our company. I was already doing things, she was already doing things, and we knew that the pieces of the puzzle that I thought I had that I didn't, she definitely had, and vice versa. And we knew that we were the yin and the yang, so to speak. And that's how we're able to do the things we do. As you can tell, we clearly vibe, and that's why we are Team in Sim.
Nice.
Cool.
That's nice when it works out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never experienced such sweetness. So
I'm gonna throw something at you.
Some mornings I wake up, I look to my right, and I feel like I'm ever sort of Arrested Development. I look at the camera. I know it's there. There's a camera somewhere, and I say, I made a huge mistake.
We've been together 11 years. It's too late for a mistake.
Congrats, by the way, 11 years. Awesome.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Awesome.
11 years.
Awesome.
11 years of unanswered prayers from hell. Yeah.
I think Varian just said 11 years. It feels like only 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Underwater.
Yeah. Where's the time gone? I looked at an old picture. I looked at her going to her first Comic-Con, and she looked really happy and excited. That's changed.
Yeah.
But I did want to say in regards to this, so Keisha, have you ever drawn something and then later on said, "Man, I wish I could do that over"?
Yes. Yeah.
Hasn't.
Absolutely. I think, but like, I mean, I feel like I'm very picky with myself, like I'm really, really, really picky. And actually, I didn't mention this in like the intro, which I feel like I should have. I'm new to this, so sorry, guys. I did my first cover with Jim actually back in, I think it was earlier this year. I did my very first published cover with Jim Noble. And I think, Dustin, we met. Yeah, it was during that time. I did a second one with Ron, and then a third one is potentially coming out. But, when it comes to published covers, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think younger me probably would have said that, but now I'm just making sure that I can put my best foot forward. I'm a little hypercritical, but absolutely, yes, there have been times where I've been like, shit. Like, but then again, I just pick on myself a lot. You know what? Are you guys like that? Like artists here? Like,
always like that.
Writers do that too. We look at the stuff we've written and go, "Oh, I need to redo that."
Yeah.
I'm always like,
it's a creative thing. It's in the creative gene, I think.
I'm a writer. I'm a graphic designer and a photographer. Yes.
Oh my god.
I don't think we ever hit it just right. And then when we do, though, like me, I get dumb. Like I hop on Facebook and I'm like, look, motherfuckers, I did the best thing ever. You know what I mean? And then you go back a week later and you're like, oh my god, did I really just talk about that?
Yeah. But most of the time. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I don't think you ever are, because as a writer, creator, artist, I'm on my 4th issue of The Wayfarer right now, and I've just started lettering it, and I'm like, did I write that? Like, oh man! So I had to like sit back and just take a step away from the desk and come back and then type something else, write something else in there that would made more sense, that moved the story, complete the story along the line. But in my first issue, man, let me tell you, my first issue sucked. I mean, everybody liked it, but to me, I just at the time when I was learning, because I was doing Clip Studio Paint at the same time, so I'm doing that and learning Clip Studio. So it was a big learning curve, and I basically had to go back and do like a director's cut. So that's what the current issue is that director's cut, because now it's been colored, it's been redesigned. I'm so much happier with how it looks, but I also look back now to that's the starting point, and where I'm at now, I've grown. You can see it definitely. The art style has gotten much better. The writing has gotten much better. The world building has gotten much better. So I don't think there's ever any time I want to say that I'm comfortable with what I've just put out. I want to say, like I just did a cover right now for The Wolf and I, and I sat back and I slept on it. And I'm like, man, the hair was wrong. So I went back and I redid it.
That cover looks good. I see that.
So I just sent it back and I said, that's much better. It looks more like I wanted, like a picture in my head. So I think just tweaking it, and I still had time to tweak it. So that was the best part. But once you've gotten something out and it's already put out there, then and I do this all with like say Mark Brooks when I work with him. It's like, yeah, Mark, I messed up something. Let me do something real quick. He's like, I've already done it. He's already sent out and gone to Marvel and it's finished, or with DC. So it's like, okay, I take it as a learning experience and then move on. So,
I remember Randy told me, I was looking at the art of this table I was working on at a con. And I think it was Graphics Comic-Con a couple of years ago. And he said, he looks over, he says, those are pretty nice leaves. I said, leaves? Those are feathers. What are you talking about? And he's like, and he says, that's not a feather. Have you ever drawn a feather? And he produces to draw a feather. He gets the Sharpie and starts drawing a feather.
With a Sharpie?
Yeah, for Sharpie. And I'm like,
God.
And I'm looking like, damn, he's right. These don't look like these don't, because I'm drawing the feathers out of here rather than saying, let me go look see what a feather looks like, because what I have up here is not accurate. So and I went through the whole entire book and redrew every feather.
Every feather?
Every time I drew, I said, nope, it's not good enough.
Dang. See,
drew them and
so now, Varian, here's where I got a problem with you then, because you probably drew like 1 million feathers, and then when it gets to me flatting it, I have to color all those million feathers, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm cursing your name out the entire time.
I'm pretty sure.
So my thought on this too is something else is that and like Dutch hit on it and what and a couple other people have too, but sometimes you just got to put out there something. Like you can't. We're all perfectionists, and if you keep rewriting or re-whatevering, right? Whatever it's reflatting, recoloring, redrawing, whatever, you'll never be finished and you'll never be satisfied. Sometimes you just got to put it out there, and then. But the most important thing when you do that is you got to be ready for the criticism and take it, and not personally, but go, okay, shit, that's not a feather. You're right. Oh, these are the worst flats ever. Yeah, you're right. But really digesting not the ugly side of it, because people say, oh, this is shit, and it's just because they don't like something. But when someone says, well, this isn't how a feather is rendered when you go to color, right? Or this isn't how someone speaks when you're in a restaurant or something like that. And you take the parts of the criticism that can make you grow, and you grow. And if you can't, if you're not thick enough skinned, and if you just take shit and run away and cry because you blame everybody else because the deadline is too tight or whatever, then you're not doing yourself or anybody else any favors. And frankly, I don't think anybody wants to work with you. You got to be willing to do that, right?
Well,
totally agree with you, Charlie.
That's for us too, by the way.
I think there's times too where there could be logical times to make those adjustments. Like with Steph and I, when we started working together, I was like, yeah, I've got this big, huge, epic series that I'm going to do. And I was a lyric writer and a prose writer. And I was turning that into what I thought was a comic, and it was an illustrated novel. And I'm like, yeah, look at these comic issues I'm putting out. And she's like, no, if you really want to put a comic issue out, you need to use word bubbles. And I was like, really? I really need to do that for it to be a comic?
We got Jim in the chat.
So
Jim Noble, hey Matt, hey anybody else, huh? No, just forget about Steph. It's all right. It's okay.
Sushi.
Man.
So when we got to the trade paperbacks, that's when Steph and I went back and took 2.5 months to re-letter the entire issue for the trade paperback. We did the same thing at the trade paperback for Tales from Nocturnia. If there were little tweaks, little things that needed to be done for the earlier issues in the series, we did that at the trade paperback level, so that way there was something new and unique there. And then that way we know we're handing the book out to people, that we had the best version of that story as it could be at that time. And we did it at a logical point. So I think that there is a merit. And the last thing I'll say there too is, we looked at an artist the other day. I will not name the name of the artist, And their style now is exactly the same as what they were doing years ago. And we're like, this person hasn't improved a bit in years. There is like the drawings that they're doing now are exactly the same drawings they're doing 4 years ago. And that's not good. That's not good. You want to be able to see that somebody is actually progressing, whether it be a writer writing more in-depth things, writing more intensely, better artists. You don't want to see that they're doing exactly the same thing they were doing, because it means they're not growing as an artist, and the rest of the people around them are like rising above them, if you know what I mean.
I just want to know, Matt. Now I'm gonna spin a wheel in my head trying to figure out which artist it was. I'm gonna be thinking like, who sucks?
I'll tell you offline. I don't care.
Someone's
Matt's gonna drop a group DM and just tell all of us at once,
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah.
And then to build on what Matt said there too, the whole point as well is to know what your weaknesses are as well, and to seek it. Because one thing I did is I started to kind of, I draw, I write, but I also have an editor now. So somebody else can catch the mistakes that I've made and get it done right then and there. And I'm eventually hoping to hire a flatter, to offset it, so I don't have to flat it anymore. So I'm, moving the whole process along, looking for writers too. So I'm like, there's a couple of issues. I'm like, this is just dead space. I already know like issues 11 through 12 or 13 is dead space. So I want to give it to somebody else to write and to draw, and I'll, just edit it along the way, or give them the suggestions on a storyline or something. But I think just adding an editor really helped my catch those little mistakes and everything. Helped me grow. And like you said earlier, I get that criticism. And if it's something that's not written right, then I'm not going to go and sit and kick at the door and, say they're idiots, and make fun of them. It's me. I need to figure out, okay, I need to write this differently, or maybe seek help elsewhere. And that's what I've done. And there's tons of people in this community that will do that and help you out. So that's never feel shy not to ask,
Varian and I don't remember if you guys realize if you guys remember. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But last week you guys had an episode with Mike Barron on, right? And I was on there. I was in the comments, and I talked about where Mike actually influenced me, because back in 97, I got his email, and I was like, well, shit, I'm going to email him my script, and see what he thinks. So I asked him, hey, Mike, would you review my script? He's like, sure, send it along. And he was really cool about it. And I'm like, God, this is the guy that created Nexus with, oh my gosh, and I'm all, woo, and then I get an email back like 2 weeks later. He's like, man, this is shit.
He's a good dude.
And he just wrecked my day. I mean, I was like, but you know what? I still have that email. I printed it out. I still have that email.
I did with the dude.
Matt's over here dying, like, hey, look, your hero. Yeah, no, not anymore.
Charlie, don't feel bad. That same day that I got told that my feathers looked like leaves, I went around the corner there and I got a picture with Jim Shooter. I said, Jim, do me a favor. I want you to look like you're tearing into my artwork, right? we take this picture, and Jim got his finger up like this. And afterwards, he looks at me, he says, this your stuff? I said, yes. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Yep. I'm about to get roasted, right? He's like, this is good stuff, man. Keep it up.
Oh.
So I took that portfolio. I walked back over to Randy. I looked at him. I said, Jim Shooter likes my artwork. It was me being Prince Petty. And,
nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of Randy, I seen Sarah ask about him. Randy is doing well. He actually talked to his wife today. He still got some ways to go, but he is getting better every day. He had COVID, but he's still in the hospital. But he's looking to. He should be out pretty soon. He's doing better every day. So continue prayers, continue thoughts out to Randy, so he can come back. And I'm pretty sure when he's ready to stream again, we're all going to hear about it.
Are you saying that we are going to educate ourselves on what's going on with him?
Oh, he's going to. I'm clearing 3 hours a 3-hour special indie vote block and just
And the panel is just Randy, right?
yeah, just him.
It's going to be called "Welcome Back, Randy."
Yeah, just him, just him. But yeah.
I'm glad. Good to hear.
Yeah. Now I have I want to talk to you guys about something that I
Well, before you do that,
okay.
I do want to cover one campaign because they do have to leave soon.
Sure.
And that is Matt and Steph's campaign.
All right.
Because they have another show to get to.
Let's let Steph do it because Matt talks too much.
Really long.
This is why nobody works with me.
No, I said it because
that is why literally everybody that came on the show was like, "Oh, hey Matt, Matt's so cool. Matt does all this cool stuff."
Oh,
We love you, Steph.
I'm here too at the shows with all of him. You know, Matt always looks so great at his shows. I'm like,
oh my God.
I'm there too. I know I'm a lot shorter than him, and sometimes it's hard to see, but.
Congrats
I
on
don't know.
funding.
It was my
Congrats on
kids,
funding.
man. My kids run up to Matt and they're like, "How dope is he in his, this cosplay outfit?" And it's just like, and he's doing the dream, right? And he's like so much taller than me because I'm only like 5'9", and I'm just like, this guy is awesome in his outfit and the whole nine, man. It's an experience to see going down.
I pick on Matt because I like him. If I didn't pick on him, it wouldn't be that's why. Plus, Steph had to leave early yesterday, and she didn't.
I did. I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
You made Matt put on a mask.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a massive shame.
So, Steph, tell us about Misfits Clubhouse.
Okay, so Misfits Clubhouse is our all ages title that we have. Oh gosh, we have 3 days to go. Is that really what it says? This campaign has. I mean, you guys all know, anybody that's run a Kickstarter campaign, the days sort of morph together and become a blur, and it's just So as you can see, we have 3 days left. This is. Oh gosh, I don't usually do this. It's normally Matt that does this, and now I'm all thrown off.
Congrats on funding, by the way. Congrats on funding.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That always feels good.
Yeah, and it's kind of different for us. Our last campaign funded in 40 minutes. So this one took, about a week and a half, 2 weeks, maybe. So it was a little different here. But as you can see, Jim, I'm Jim. I'm just giving you a hard time. We love you.
I think that I looked at this book and I'm like, man, I told Matt yesterday I want to get one for my kid, but now I'm thinking like, maybe I get one for myself too.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we're going for. When we say it's been kind of difficult, it's odd because we have the steampunk series that Matt created that I jumped on board with, Heirs of Isildur, and then our medieval fantasy series, Tales from Nocturnia, which neither of them were necessarily rated R, but they were, they were more, at most YA. So this is a very different realm for us. And it's been very interesting because for me, I'm like, it's all ages. All ages to me means all ages. You could be an infant with your parent reading to you, or you could be 80 years old enjoying it. But there seems to be a stigma with that. It's been very weird. And now it's almost like PTSD. I don't know. I've been told, don't say this, say that, and don't call it all ages. Don't call it kids comic, because what it is it's something that anybody can enjoy. If anybody has a problem with us saying that something that we created is something for anybody can enjoy, I don't know what to tell you. So this is, we've got 4 kids who are our main characters. 2 of them happen to be a ferret and a sloth named Fairy and Sloth. Very original names there. So this is, it essentially is centered around these kids whose imaginations are so big and
I love it.
take over the story so much that it sort of blurs the lines of reality. So these are our characters right here. Miki is our girl. The description for her is that her heart is as big as her hair.
Aww, same.
Awesome. So we've got a character descriptions for all these guys here. What this Kickstarter is it's 2 stories mainly. The main story is Pinball Madness. The kids are the Misfits Clubhouse, obviously, as the title suggests. These kids have these kids have a clubhouse in their backyard that they hang out in, and this is where a lot of their imagination takes them. So it's raining one day, and they are unable to play in the clubhouse, and they end up venturing into the garage, and there's an old pinball machine there. And they get sucked into the pinball machine and have to find a way out. It is up to one character who managed to stay out to save them. And the other story that we have is a short called Dress Up, Mess Up. It is seasonally appropriate, even though we're out of the season now. If you're like me, it's Halloween all year long.
Nice.
So that's a short that we have where all of the kids are really excited to go trick or treating, except for one who is reluctant to go and stay behind, and they have to deal with that and be bummed about that. And you find out what happens. I'm going to let Matt take over because I do not normally do this, so I am not doing a good job. There's a reason why Matt always talks.
We do have a super chat from Imperium Vol. Thank you for the $5 donation.
Super chat.
He says, "Glad to hear Randy is doing better."
Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. I totally missed it. There's a super chat there. Sorry, I'm my
glad I
computer's
clicked back over.
Yeah, my computer's like not helping me with anything today. So yeah, thanks Imperium Bowl. Appreciate that. And I'll
Imperium Bowl.
I'm gonna message Randy soon. I've talked to his family. I want to give him enough time to heal up before I start messaging him. No, I don't want to raise your stress levels. I tend to have that effect on people. There's stress levels. There's
Get out.
high blood pressure, restraining orders. Jeez, that's.
I hate you.
Restraining order is nice.
I'm sorry. Can I just jump in? This reminds me. Who's all seen Gravity Falls on Disney Channel?
Yeah,
that's
reminds me of Gravity Falls a little bit. I fuck with it.
The tagline that we have at the very top of our campaign, and hold on, wait, Varian, I'm going to raise my hand. Am I allowed to speak?
You are.
Okay. So the tagline says, if Gravity Falls, Wreck-It Ralph, and the Fairly Odd Parents were neighbors on a cul-de-sac, the Misfits Clubhouse.
Love it. Love the Fairly Odd.
So that is how we angle the story, where it's not something where you're going to go, oh, this is just like, and this is just like. It's something that would be in that same general storyline family.
Yeah.
Like Steph said, it's the adventures of these kids. And I saw one of the comments where Alex Bowman said, my initial reaction is they solve cosmic mysteries. It's more so that these kids take the most mundane things in the world and turn them into cosmic mysteries. Like the very first story we did is in Scoot Frontiers issue 1, which is a magazine that Scout Comics puts out. And it's just a little 4-page story called I Don't Want Any Asparagus. And one of the characters, Miki, her mom is making dinner and there's going to be asparagus, and she freaks out about how much she does not want asparagus, how much she hates it. And if she was a pirate, she'd make it walk the plank. And if she was an athlete, she'd bust through the line and send it go flying everywhere. She wouldn't put the fire out at the asparagus factory. That's what we want every story to be, where think back to when you were a kid and everything that you did was like the biggest deal known to man. Think about the stuff the nonsense you see on Disney Channel and whatnot, where like you'll be at the middle school chess game and Disney Channel will have like a full stands in the gym and cheerleaders because 2 kids are playing chess, because that's what they see these things as, like the biggest deal in the world. And that's how we see the way that we're crafting these stories. We want kids to read it and go, that's right, those adventures are so amazing. I can't believe how awesome it is that she hates asparagus. And we want the adults to read it and go, man, like Pinball Madness. I remember going to the arcade and playing pinball, and the times going back to the arcade and doing this and the adventures that are in there. That's how we want both sides to be able to see these stories.
I want the socks.
Yeah, the socks.
You got 3 days to get them. You got 3 days to get them.
You don't see socks too often being offered. Usually T-shirts. So socks being offered is pretty cool.
Well, and that was one of the things that if you've seen our other campaigns, which we've talked about the death metal and the steampunk and the medieval and whatnot. Our last campaign was probably one of our biggest and most insane campaigns that we've ever done. We had a it was called Heirs of Isildur versus Tales from Nocturne. We actually mashed up both of our main titles, had a CD, we did custom splatter vinyl, and we also had one of the musicians that was one of the main integral parts in what we did actually get killed 11 days after recording his tracks, and it was stuff like 3 weeks before we launched the campaign. So you want to talk about a heavy, super complicated campaign, very intricate in all the different reward levels that we offered. And this was the perfect thing for us to be like, we're going to do something straightforward, simple tier levels, simple items. What's something we can do that we haven't done before? We've never done socks. Let's do it. So socks it is.
That's dope.
Cool.
Yeah, those look nice, but I don't know what I would do because I don't wear socks here in Arizona. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put them up in here in the studio.
I only wear socks.
Just turn up that AC. Turn up that AC. You'll be all right.
Same, Florida.
Florida here.
Sarah,
Underwear!
a friend of mine
I might
offered
have to go with the
underwear for real.
That's dope. I'd buy that.
People have offered to buy Lola's underwear. That was weird.
I have sold my underwear.
Yeah. There was remember that one guy was like, "Send me your underwear," and she was like, "What?" Like, I'll pay.
I've sold underwear, I've sold tights, and I've sold bras.
It's unfortunate.
Get
you need to
it.
bring back like adult underoos. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude.
Now with Misfits, it is all ages, but it is. I've talked to man. He told me this. It's enjoyable. It's not all ages in it. It's just for kids. It's all ages. It's for everyone. And he stressed that to me, and I got to thinking about that. And that's really important because I think about how many cartoons I actually like Toy Story, Up, which I cry about every time. Up shouldn't do it. You know what? The other one, what was one of the two elf boys that and they have a certain amount of time to go see their father who passed away.
Onward.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh man, I cried. I was see your dad. And
well, that touched home for you because your dad had passed away.
I excused myself to the bathroom a couple times during that movie. Like, I gotta go to the bathroom, be right back. Oh, my stomach's hurting. I'm in there, ugly crying.
Oh,
it was bad. So you make me cry, man. I'm gonna show up at your house.
You know what though? That'd be pretty interesting because if you showed up at my house because you cried, that means you would have had to have gotten on a plane or drove or ridden a bicycle or used some serious imagination to force your way to Florida. And I'd be like, man, he's really committed to this. I feel like we've done our job and we have really moved this guy. So I feel like our job is done.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So Matt and Steph,
I agree.
Before you guys take off, let everybody know why they should purchase your book. Who wants to go?
I would say this. The reason why we would think that you should support Misfits Clubhouse is not because we want to have more backers. It's not because we obviously want to see our dollar amount go up. Yes, those are obvious. But we think that when you back Misfits Clubhouse, you're going to get the package and you're going to be like, you know what? This is money well spent because I've read a story that I can relate to the characters or I can escape into this. I got a little piece of joy out of these stories and I can see where this is going. You're also getting your hands on issue number 1. There's only ever going to be one issue number 1. Obviously, there's 4 different covers, but you get to be in now. And then when Misfits Clubhouse goes and does other things, who knows what the heck else it's ever going to do. You can say, I remember when that I was back there and I supported the very first issue. And I was one of the ones that has my name on that back page in there. Look, I can show you in issue number 1. Here's my name. That I was one of the people that helped put this thing out there. So that's why we think that you should back this campaign because we know it's going to be stories you're going to like, and that way you can actually say that you were there back when this thing first came out.
That's Misfits Clubhouse. Got over on Kickstarter. It's got 3 days left. Get over there and get it. By the way, I want to thank everybody for listening on Indie Vote Radio right now. We are live. Weren't earlier, but we are now. There was a bit of a problem, but I fixed it. I want to thank you guys for listening. Yeah, right now, Lola, you are at 62,000 listening on Indie Vote Radio. I don't think Matt sleeps. He probably doesn't.
I don't even know what that is anymore half the time. So, hey, I will tell you this. Part of the reason I don't sleep, and this has nothing to do with anything, is we've been trying to get a new washer and dryer here, and there's been a series of insane things. Tomorrow morning, they're going to try for the 5th time to deliver me the freaking washer and dryer.
Jesus, 5.
Fifth time. So
Five
they're
times.
like, hey, we're going to deliver it at 7:30 in the morning. They bring it and it's busted. Or they go to deliver it and they're like, hey, we can't get the hose off of there. You have to do it. So we'll come back some other day. So yeah, like I'm normally not up at 7:30 in the morning, but this is going to be the 5th time that I have to be up to try and get that. So yeah, that hasn't exactly helped.
But you also got to get up because you're going to be on Breakfast Buzz tomorrow.
That's right. You better believe that action. So even if I have to get up at 7:30, I'll be wide awake. Steph will have already run like 6 miles at that point because she gets up in the middle of the night. She'll run her 100 miles a month, and I'll be up and I'll be ready to make it happen.
Well, I want to thank you, Sue, for coming on. I really appreciate it. And everybody, go
guys for
check
having us
out
on. We
this
appreciate it.
campaign.
Just bought it, literally just now.
Yep. Just back
Just did
it.
it.
So.
Yep, there it is. 81
Yes, can't wait, guys.
We'll be
Thank
definitely
you.
backing it as well when I get
Yeah,
off
very.
air. Great stuff, man.
Very much appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for having us on. And again, sorry we have to
problem.
dip out early, but it's kind of the way things go. And I hope you guys get some support for what you're doing as well.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Matt.
guys.
Bye,
Hey,
Steph.
thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
See you later.
So I was gonna say, Lola, before you, we did this thing where I call it the Indie Vote Showcase, where I wanted to bring, a lot of conventions are inviting us to come to the shows now as guests, which is really nice, and some of them have been nice enough to offer me multiple tables. So I said, I'll take 2 this for a show next year. It's not in Michigan, I said, well, I want to do this thing called the Indie Vote Showcase, where we can bring artists who aren't necessarily booked for that show, maybe couldn't get in. They can come for a day or 2 or all 3 days or whatever, however long the show is, and they can sit at this extra table we have that's right next to Indie Vote, and they can meet, fans. It's a exhibitor booth, so it's a double exhibitor booth. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to roll that out. So next year, I had one of the promoters of the show reach out to me and says, well, that's fine. You can do that. But we need to see the list of who you're inviting. And we need at least 3 weeks of each name because we have to research their Twitter. We have to research their Facebook.
Wow.
And we want to know who you're inviting. And we have the right to say, no, you can't have that person.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
They're not going to invite you.
Crazy
They're
out
not going to be
there.
allowed to go.
Well, yeah.
Dustin's banned.
Yeah, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
Sushi's banned.
Yeah. We're not going to be allowed to go.
well, I thought, I'm like,
That's
wait,
crazy.
that kind of defeats the purpose of me wanting to do this. I wanted to bring new people, or people who couldn't
I
get
hear
the
you.
shows.
The gatekeeping is strong in the Comic-Con circuit, it seems. It's
It is.
crazy.
I didn't-
Holy cow.
Yeah,
And
'cause
I
I'm
don't know
on
why I didn't-
double
I
secret
didn't-
probation right now, so
I didn't know why I didn't like. I normally see shit like that coming, and I can head it off, or at least I know it's coming, so it softens the blow. I did not see this shit coming. I was like blindsided, so it's like, we need your list. So because I was gonna keep it fluid, like, hey, yeah, you want to come down? Sure, man. No, I got to provide a list.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Well, they're starting to hit people really early for next year. I've noticed we've been getting invites as early as like October. We got a couple in September for next year.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the
That's cool.
scene's a little bit different. Like I really, it's interesting, right? Like a lot of it has to do. I used to think it was just based on like your popularity and stuff like that. Okay. But then we headlined a show we've headlined 2 shows in a year, in our first year. And when we did Florida, it was like, I was like, well, Mike's going, Marissa's going, Jim's going. All these people have done books with me. You know what I mean? So I asked the dude, I was like, hey, can we get, on a row together? You know what I mean? And then they put William Russell at the end, and they put Ryan Kincaid on the other end. And it was the most poppin' row at the show. You know what I mean? And we had so much fun. But it's different, though, because some of the folks that headlined had never even put a book out.
Wow.
And it's a perfect example because Jim won't go back because they didn't even put his name on the thing,
What?
So it was like he had put out more books than a good 70% of the people that were headlining, you know, and they didn't even put his name on there. So, and I don't want to throw the show out, you know what I mean? But things like that, it's very, it's weird to me because I feel like right now you're hearing about all this drama within cons and stuff.
You're gonna love the next question.
Oh Lord Jesus,
you're gonna love that. You guys are gonna love it. I've been saving on. I've been hanging on to this one.
Well, let's hear it. I'm just saying it's getting weird out there.
All right. So here we go.
Good luck,
Matt. I want everyone to watch Sushi and Lola's faces.
Oh no!
When I'm reading this question.
Why?
Okay. This is from a young lady okay, who was at a con. I'm not gonna say the name of the. Yeah. I'm not gonna say the name of the con.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna say the name of the artist involved. Okay, the creator involved. Okay. So I'm sitting at Blank Con on a Saturday morning. It's very early, about an hour before the show opens, and we're getting things together. This is usual if you've ever done Comic Cons, and she's right. This is we get there early, we set up, make sure everything's. If it's Saturday, we make sure everything, we restock, all that good stuff. So she continues. She says, when a friend of mine, who's been a friend of mine for years, an older gentleman, arrives and sits down with his coffee. He begins making small talk as he does. I consider him a friend and a mentor. After sitting for a while, he begins to tell me how rough his night was and that he could not sleep. He says that when he got to his hotel, someone had accidentally left the adult stations on in his room. So he got a chance to watch pornography for a few hours before it cut off. Unfortunately, due to that, and this is the show for it, he had, it gets better. He had blue balls.
He was kickstanding the entire night, huh?
It gets better. It gets better. It gets better, ladies. It gets better. It gets better. I'm gonna read this straight face.
Get it out.
After about 15 minutes or so, I began to sit down and powered up my drawing tablet. I looked over, and there he is, biting it, totally jacking off under what he thought was a protection of his tablecloth. I audibly said, "Oh my God," to which he stopped, winked, and continued on.
Oh my God.
Oh damn. Hell no.
Is that a real story though?
Yeah. That's the email. It's an email that we got. It's email. So I have no way of knowing. I have no way of knowing if the person's telling me the truth in the email, but I can tell you this.
Oh my God.
I can tell you this. I did recently talk to someone who told me that another artist is in hot water because another artist, another creator, caught the guy, the artist and his wife, not his wife, but the artist and the artist's wife. The wife was under the table at the con in the morning, servicing her husband. And I heard that from someone else. So apparently, listen.
Let's just all have sex at cons now.
It's broad daylight too. Broad daylight.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
Is this Comic Con? I mean, what is this?
It's a wizard show. It's wizard.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, more like lizard show.
I got a question for you guys.
Rest in peace, Wizard World.
I want to ask Sushi first. Sushi, you look over and you see the guy next to you just, choking the shit out the bishop. Just, this is how he's making shit.
Dude,
Bishop.
Because
now I got Bishop.
Keep in
I don't
mind.
know what he would even fucking do. Like, I would literally be like, what in the fuck is going on? I would literally, first of all, I'm a bitch. I'll call you out on your shit. If you are being ratchet, I will literally fucking call you out in front of your goddamn face. One time there was somebody that peed in my bed in college after I hooked up with him, and I called him out at the bar. Thank you, in front of everybody. I'm like, bitch, you peed in my bed. Everybody, how dare you? How dare you? You know what? I would literally call you out. How dare you?
I love it.
And that was a Tempur-Pedic.
Oh,
Face.
It really would be so bad.
You ain't mad about that mattress.
I thought he was the basketball team. So I brought him back, and we just like we literally didn't even like have sex or anything. We just hooked up. But then he does this thing where he gets drunk and he pees in people's beds apparently, and he peed in mine, and then he ditched me. I'm like,
You need some new friends.
Yeah.
All right,
No
you're
one
gonna
ditched me.
You need to trust some better people.
You gotta stop
great.
getting
Those were my
getting rid of
college
those Tupacs.
days.
No.
This is great.
Oh man.
I was so mad. But anyway, I called him out on that shit. Seriously. Ew.
Guys, are you?
As you should.
Have you like? Who's gonna put?
Must have been a compliment.
It was
I didn't have a situation like that, but I had another weird one in public. My wife and I were, I don't know, we were 18, 19, just out of college, trying to find an apartment and stuff. And we were here in Tennessee because my mom and dad lived here, and I had just come back from Hawaii and I was here and whatnot. So looking for an apartment. Big ass library downtown in the middle of Murfreesboro in the city. And it's like we're trying to get the electric cut on, trying to get all the shit handled and all that jazz. And we look over and there's literally this dude that was probably on the spectrum a little bit, you know, in a public library, you know, yanking the crank. And like, it wasn't even like we were trying to hide the fact that we were yanking it. It was like out and we were yanking it.
I'm taking that one. I haven't heard that phrase yet.
Some bold people out there. In the
I'm taking it
library.
too.
And I'm like, I get, I'm a little angsty. You know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, dude, put your shit away in front of my old lady. You know what I mean? It was like, you know,
well, just
then,
me,
like,
it was fine, but you know, my old lady's here.
yeah, dude. What if I, whatever, dude, business, right?
But have some respect, dude.
Right. You know, hey, man, I was in a military academy for 2 years, man. I've seen the worst of the worst, but at the same time, you're like, all right, dude.
Okay. I have.
Just be glad he didn't throw some like Silence of the Lamb stuff at you. Oh,
yeah. You know, if it reached that far though, I probably would have been like, dude, that's pretty dope. Good on you.
Here's the problem. Now, ladies, you guys gotta deal with this. We don't as men. But like guys, always Lola's got a whole book called Unsolicited. She's putting out where all the penis pictures she's received unsolicited from guys.
Only 26 of them.
Only 26.
I have tons of them.
But here's the problem. So guys do that all the time. So you might have. I'm pretty sure. Because Lola makes sure that I see everyone that gets sent to her.
Damn.
So do you remember that thing?
Every picture, every video.
Do you remember that the Glade thing about like if you live in a house and there's always like an odor, you go nose blind? I believe I've gone dick blind. I've been desensitized because
it don't even bother you no more.
It doesn't even bother me.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I can walk by a guy yanking the crank, as you say. It's like, yeah, just tearing it up. You know, like with the snark sound and everything.
Look at Gilly's face.
I'm pretty sure I can.
I'm about to go to bed in a minute and have some pleasant dreams, maybe.
Learn 2 new terms today.
Like, Keisha, you do it all. You do the art.
I
You
do.
modeling. You're a singer. I'm sure there are some people out there who have sent you pictures like
Every day. I get every single day. Every single day.
Shut up. What is wrong with people?
I don't know. And then on top of it, the new meta. Okay, wait for this. Is abusive, like financial abuse, like pay pig slaves. It's the new meta.
What is
like
it?
I get foot pics. People ask me for foot pictures all the time. People ask me to be their like financial slave. Like if I could abuse them and they'd pay me to like abuse them. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Like,
you tapping a whole new audience.
I mean, right now you're giving it to them for free, so you may as well get paid and at least abusing.
I mean, okay, honestly, I did sell a foot picture for $50 one time. I did do it. Okay, I admit to it.
Look, here's the problem. This financial
hitchhike was college,
This financial domination thing. You know what?
I don't get it. I'm
telling motherfuckers, just get married. Watch. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. There's even a bonus if you try to leave and get free. You'll take more money.
I'm thinking of the episode of Bob's Burger right now when the son wore the mask. He's like, "No, I'm talking. No, I'm not." This is zipping and unzipping the mask the entire time.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Oh
you
my
guys,
God.
but you guys get it, and I'm imagining now you're getting it from three. You're getting it from 3 angles. You're getting it from the art. You get it from the modeling, and now the singing. Which one is worse?
Is any of them worse?
Which fan base?
Well, honestly, like since I blatantly, if you guys haven't seen my booth, I know a couple of you guys have. I put it up that I draw hentai. It's very blatant, you know. And I like to do that. I mean, it's just shit I enjoy doing for people. But there's some really, really weird fuckers that come up to my booth and literally ask me to draw pictures of literally me fucking them. Literally. And I always am very professional, and I'm like, okay, then $500, okay, pass it over. Let's go, 500, okay. And then, you know, I don't understand.
Has anyone paid the 500 to get it done?
Yes, many times.
Nice.
Yeah.
People will pay dude. People at cons and stuff, and it's gonna sound weird, but you guys have seen it, you know. And those of us that have done this a little while have walked around and watched those wads of bills that people just whop like it's nothing. Like they save all their money for shows, you know. Like you could go to what I paid $260-something for Lady Death #1 a couple years ago, right? And that was outside of a show. Then when you go to a show and you find the same book, it's damn near double the price that you would have paid outside the show for it. Yeah. So yeah, can you imagine like a piece of art? Like if we were to take an original page to a show, like I don't take pages to shows, you know what I'm saying? But if you took an original page to a show and you were like, hey, check out this page. Like my artists do it. They all take pages and they all take cover art, you know, because that's how they make the cash when they're there, right? So it's like you're flipping through original art, dude. It's not like chump change, you know what I mean? It's big money you're pulling out of those artists folders, you know. I mean, even sushi, you're pulling. There's wads that you're putting down for pieces, and I respect the hustle, you know. Because the people that are just collecting don't know what we pay for covers. They don't know what we pay for promos. They don't know, you know, anything like that.
Justin's talking about pulling in wads now.
Pulling wads. Hey, you yank that crank, you better pull the wad.
I think it's so sad what the ladies got to deal with. Lola, you got a campaign to pull up, right? Were you pulling with Gilbert? Is that it? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Somebody's getting pulled up with the water.
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem #1.
Oh, you drop my dice on the table and whatnot.
Damn it. Well, off to support.
Round 2.
What's going on, guys? Gilbert Deltrez here. Hoping you all are having a wonderful day. I want to thank you guys for checking out the Galactic Rodents of Mayhem Kickstarter.
This is making me laugh, though.
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, or GROM, is our personal love letter to the 80s and 90s era of Saturday morning
I love that cover.
Thanks, man. I got
This
a great
isn't
team
just
on
another
this one.
anthropomorphic TMNT clone. GROM features a fun and fresh, one-of-a-kind story with amazing artwork by Sebastian Knowles. All right, so what makes it one-of-a-kind? We got space capybaras, people. Sebastian and I wanted to create a throwback anthropomorphic nostalgia comic. One that brings that warm and fuzzy feeling of nostalgia while at the same time being something truly its own. To nail that sentiment perfectly, we had to find the right animal, and Sebastian suggested capybaras. I gotta admit, I had no idea what a capybara was, but the moment I found out more and more, I was hooked, and I had everything I needed to write an awesome GROM script. Why? Okay, so here's some facts if you didn't know. Capybaras are the largest rodent in the universe. They're even bigger than dogs, all right? They also swim, can hold their breaths for up to 5 minutes underwater, and are the most chill animals in the entire animal kingdom. They even get along with crocodiles. Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. People, I swear, these photos aren't Photoshop. When we were coming up with the name of our book, Sebastian rattled out Rodents of Mayhem. And I thought about it, and then suddenly I uttered Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. It just sounded right, okay? Maybe that's because it has the same 8 syllables like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I swear I didn't plan that. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem. Booyah! All right, so will you enjoy Galactic Rodents of Mayhem? Well, if the idea of TMNT and Star Wars conceiving a capybara love child during a Saturday morning cartoon marathon sounds intriguing to you, then yeah, you're going to enjoy this book. So please consider backing this comic and embarking on an interstellar journey with Bash, Ripple, and Mona Lisa. It will be fun. We have sniper vipers, turtle ninjas, a gunslinging gecko named Gangon, and a very sinister dark raider. Oh, we also have a Saturday morning cartoon-inspired theme song. If you like to and securing your exclusive collector's issue of Grom #1. It's going to be really special. We're planning on including some fan artwork, a Q&A from Sebastian and myself. And if you back this project, it would make me happy. It would make Sebastian happy. It would make our colorist Tiago happy. It would make our letterer Davey happy. But most importantly, it will make you happy. We appreciate your support so much. Hope you all have a great day. Take care.
Tell me that art ain't hot, man. Just look at that. Tell me that art ain't hot. Come on, man.
Yeah,
I'm loving
You
the
see what's
colors.
coming out in mainstream. I'm bringing it underground. I'm showing you indie comics. We can hit hard. We can hit hard.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm loving the colors, man. It's
And
damn.
all Tiago, I got a guy in
Yeah.
the colors is a beast. The artist is a beast. We all synergize on this thing, and
Nice.
we're having fun. The most important thing is a passion project, and it's fun. We're all putting our heart and soul into it. It's a true comic book love letter to our childhoods, and that encompasses, the comics, toys, video games,
What's going on,
anime,
guys?
what we grew up on. So it's literally a comic book love letter.
So Gilly, I don't know if you know about this, but there's a wealthy environment or wealthy town or something, a little community in Argentina that right now is overrun by capybaras, and some
Oh, yeah.
don't want to kill it because they're too cute and adorable, and they just love how they do everything, but they're just leaving messes everywhere. This would sell over well there, man.
Man, if only Argentina were big on comics.
I know.
I gotta hit that national market. But my artist, who's from Uruguay, when that happened, he was just all over social media, just tweeting about it and on Facebook, because again, they you'll just see, like, you'll be on your day-to-day in South America and you'll just see like a capybara and her cubs like crossing the street, and it's just like normal over there.
Yeah,
So,
I won't show this to my dad. He's from Guyana, South
Nice.
America, so
Nice.
they used to eat them.
He'll see food. He'll see food.
They used to eat them. It's like he would eat it. It's like, yeah, that's good food.
Yeah,
good
that's
eating.
food. Yeah.
I would have made a face of that, but I just had camel meat a couple weeks ago and shit was delicious. So I'm like,
Hey, meat is meat, man. I've had rabbit meat. It's been good. There's so many different types of meat where you taste it and it tastes pretty damn good.
camels
said.
changed my life,
Yeah,
man.
Peter.
I'm
Camels-
looking at like desert movies completely different. I've said this before, but like I'm looking at camels in movies and I look at a delicious bastard.
Which-
Mayonnaise.
Is
and
it on the
vegetables.
hump? Is it on the hump?
I just bite. I'd be the only person out there biting camels. Because the other thing is, you never heard the phrase like camels to the slaughter. So who the hell is killing the camels? Like, are they domesticated camels? Or they brought them over? Are they?
Yeah, man, they farm those
Eat
just like they
anything,
do
they
ostrich
figure it
now.
out. Yeah, horses,
Ostriches,
right? I mean, dogs in our neighborhood.
See me.
If they're stray.
See me eating that.
I don't know about that one, but
Let me not offend anyone. I'm just being gilly here. Sorry.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's not for me. That's like I eat just about anything. If I can eat it, I will. Unless it runs, then it better run fast. But I just look at a dog like I don't give a shit about the cow, the camel, the ostrich, the emu. But I look at a dog and I'm like, man,
We feel bad. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
it happens. It's crazy, but yeah. I look at a capybara now. When you said your dad will look at the capybara as food, I'm like, come on, man. They're so cool. Like if you get along with crocodiles and they look at you like you're not a snack, you earn that respect. Come on, man. That's the coolest animal for me. I'm like, come on, you can't beat that.
I deserve 18 variant points for not making a joke when Dustin said that.
Hey, you make
He'll
all
eat it unless it runs from him.
That's right.
Like,
I'm a big boy, man.
like what kind of sexual innuendo? Okay.
No.
So, this is over on Kicks. Okay.
I'm just letting you know I got 10 minutes. I'm sorry. I have a call with my producer. Just letting you know.
Problem.
I'm on that 10-minute limit too. I got my wifey wanting to take over the room. I don't got a studio. I said, honey, you gotta get out the bedroom. I need to make a studio. And we got a little baby too that's out there. So yeah.
So this is art from the book, and you've got you got a couple days left on this, and I see 3 or 4.
I think we got like 10 days. I want to say.
Okay, 10 days. Okay.
Yeah. So we're slowly cruising. Hopefully, we get a nice little push at the end and get able to fund this. And it's gonna be cool, man. You ready to see the art? You know the passions behind it. Our thumbnail on the Kickstarter, I swear it looks like an anime. Like you just press pause on it. That's just the quality behind the book. And people don't know me. I'm not I'm just underground Gilly. Just look at it like that. I can't say I work for Marvel. I work for DC. I'd be lying if I said I didn't pitch all my ideas to them. So it's just to the point where I'm just pitching my ideas to the public, and whatever hits, I'm sticking with it. And Grom is just for me. It has a lot of mass appeal, and it touches those nostalgia heartstrings in the right place. And it's whenever you get into a new comic, there's something like, it's like a relationship. Do I want to date this chick, right? If a guy, or do I want to date this guy? Like, it's a relationship. Do I want to get invested in these characters? Do I want to, like, if you watch a show on Netflix, do I want to start a whole new show? What do I start? Oh, am I feeling that? Oh, well, my friend told me this one was good, so I trust their judgment. I'll try this. So the thing with Grom, it pulls on all that familiarity. It pulls on that familiar stuff that we grew up on, but then it shows that it's its own thing as well. So you'll feel right at home with Grom. Like once you get in, like you're gonna be like, man, I got the good vibes are coming off. So it's a passion project, and I appreciate the support. Thank you guys for having me on the stream. And if you come across it, definitely back it, support it, share it out, because that's how indie creators like us survive and thrive. It's through community, and we appreciate the support.
All the links to every campaign is in the description, and there will be in the chat as well.
Awesome.
Thank you, Gilly, for bringing it on. Galactic Rodents of Mayhem #1 over on Kickstarter. Go check it out now. Got 10 days, guys.
Thank you.
Love it.
Sushi.
Mm-hmm.
You have a music video, don't you?
I do.
Can we see it?
Yeah, you guys want to play it?
Yeah. Could you bring it up?
Also, Gilly, I just paid for your cover. I just supported. Woo!
Thank you so much, Sushi. And I got to see your artwork because I got variant covers. So I'll definitely want to commission you for some work down the line for sure.
Sushi's got all the cards right there.
For
sure.
I'm gonna have to yell downstairs to get my kids because I'm trying to finish up backing everything here.
So, Gilly, before you go, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Gilly Writes Comics, Space Capybaras for our Grom thing. On Twitter, Gilbert Deltrez. Also on Facebook, Gilbert Deltrez. And on YouTube, I got a little channel, Gilly Writes Comics. So I'm trying to do the indie thing and get out there and plug other people's books as well as mine. So thank you guys. If you like what I do, appreciate the support. And Indie Vault, again, thanks for the invite because it came through Kickstarter. Like Indie Princess hit me up. She's like, hey, we got a stream here that we do, and so it's cool when someone sees your work and they notice it and they back it as like Charlie with his spider scroll. Like I'm like, you know what? I got to back some books because you have to. So I was just scrolling. I saw his and I love the whole Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, Spider Scroll. Are you kidding me? Like this is me. So I had to back that. And then you mentioned Trash Panda. Oh my gosh. Like I love that. It's in my wheelhouse. So that kind of thing I definitely support. I want to look at everyone's stuff on here. Dustin, you said you had a book called Greed 2. So it sounds gritty and it sounds right up my alley as well, just by the title. So I definitely want to check that one out. And was it Wayfarer?
Wayfarer, yeah.
Wayfarer.
I got my card, so we're good.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to back you guys' stuff. And again, thank you again for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem. You're welcome back anytime. Just message me.
I will do that, and let's see how it goes, guys.
All right.
Peace out. Till the next time. God bless and enjoy.
Have a good night.
All right, Gilly.
Okay, guys.
Talk to you soon later.
We'll
See you, brother.
Later.
So Keisha, show that video real quick.
I think I actually put it in the little chat area.
Did you? Okay. Is it the? Let me see. Let me go.
Yeah, it's
I
up
think I
there.
put it there. Pretty sure I did.
Yep, there we go.
Yep, you did.
Yay! Okay.
Let's pull this video up, and I'm gonna play it.
Yay! It was my first. Well, actually, it's under Warner Music, so that's exciting. Warner Brothers.
They'll
So
come after us.
excited.
They'll come after
Yeah.
us. You can't put that online. Yes, I
It's
can.
big time.
Yeah, there she is. Let's
All right, here we go.
play it.
It is intense. Whee! It's a nice ass car, right?
Yeah.
That's
I was there. Are you
nice.
driving that? Are you?
Yeah. It was really hard to drive though because of the stick.
And no power steering.
I'm looking all around. I'm hearing these strange sounds. My mind's spinning around. My mind's spinning around.
Sorry about the audio, guys. It's so nerfed.
Baby, I'm trying to find my crown. Put on my long dressing gown. I am my own person. I'm doing my liaison. I don't have time to run. I don't have time to run. Yeah. It's all about the summer fun. It's time to get my body on. Take me there. Scars all around, you know I'm all about it. Take me there. He disappeared, I don't know about it. Take me there. Losing my mind, I ain't got it. He's not there. I am a starlight, fly the limelight. The girls, we got my back. We are part of a pack. Okay. We plan in our attack. We plan in our attack. Yeah. The boys better watch their backs. Watch their backs, no, watch their backs, oh yeah. The boys better watch their backs. Say last time I heard you, you wanted me to lose. Okay. Say boy, hey, you don't lose. Say boy, hey, you don't lose. No, 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 yeah. Sorry I ain't in the mood. Sorry I ain't in the mood. Take me there. Stars all around, you know I'm all about it. Take me there. He disappeared, I don't know about it. Take me there. He was in my mind, I ain't got it. He's not there. I am a starlight, fly the limelight. Take me there with wings to fly. Take me there, I want to try. Take me there with wings to fly. Take me there, I want to try. Take me there, stars all around you, know I'm all about it. Take me there, he disappeared, I don't know about it. Take me there, he was in my mind, I ain't got it. He's not there. I am a starlight, fly the limelight.
Damn.
Oh,
That was really good.
Jesus,
Damn, bro.
awesome.
Wait,
I want
do
to say
have
something.
one question. Hey,
Go
where
ahead.
the hell did you find a cornfield in Florida?
Yo! It's Belgium.
Yeah, you had to fly to
Yeah.
Belgium for that, right?
That church, though, right? Jesus.
Yeah.
That was
My
awesome.
dancers. So fun fact that my dancers actually threw up because of the rehearsals. The girl actually ended up throwing up and being in the bathroom because of all the rehearsals they had to do. So everyone put so much
Wow.
hard
That's
work
awesome.
into.
I want to say something too. By the
Put it on
way,
the floor.
this video, we need to thank the cinematographer. Couple things. One,
Yeah.
Sushi is not that tall.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm very small. I'm so tiny.
She looks.
Yes.
You look like you're like,
A
you know.
hobbit.
Yeah.
Yes.
you look like- in that video, you look like you're like.
Yeah, she looks very tall in the video.
Yeah.
I know.
Like, what are you, like 4'11"?
Stop.
Are you Hobbit? Are you
Basically,
also-
I'm like 5'1". Okay.
Also, because
Five.
it's
So,
me.
so 4'11" then.
Yeah, she's like 4.
That's for
4'11" with
for
4'11"
Carl
with
down
shoes.
there.
So you're basically like Kevin Hart. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
The other thing, though, because this is me,
Yeah.
and this is where I get my complaints at.
Of course.
I always forget.
Mhm.
Sushi will post a modeling picture, and I'm like, oh, whoa. I always forget that Sushi and Lola are kind of like the cleavage twins.
Yes.
And I forgot about those. And it's like, I feel dirty now.
Nope. I actually am very proud of my titties. I just decided to hide them tonight because I was lazy. I'm really proud of them and they're real. Thank you.
Mine too, just for the record.
And there's
mine Taco Bell for mine, actually. I went to Taco Bell for mine.
You know what I mean?
Oh.
I'm all about
Sushi,
being
I
real.
put the link to your video in our chat so people can go check it out.
Yeah, and we want to have you back on because we want to look at some of your artwork at some point. But you're always welcome back.
Guys, I'm sorry. Yes, I do have to book it. I have a call with my producer, but you guys are so awesome. I have to come back on sometime.
Yeah, no problem. And I'm pretty sure I'll see you at a con pretty soon.
Yeah,
What's your
are
next
you
show?
guys doing C2E2? Super quick.
No.
I was gonna go, but I
may show up. I don't have a table, but I may show up.
My partner in crime decided that he didn't think they were going to happen, so we didn't get tables. So, because a bunch of shows were canceling at that point in time, so we were all like, whatever.
Yeah.
And Chicago's going to be cold as balls, and I'm from Florida too. I'm not gonna make it in that kind of weather. just being real, and I don't have the Taco Bell titties to save me from the cold, so I'm not gonna make it.
So Sushi, before you go, where can people find you at?
Lord.
Honestly, just Google my name. Google Sukacia Ray.
Yep. Sukacia Ray. All right.
The most legit.
Don't send her dick pics.
Just Google me, bitch. I just
Just send a pictures of me like this.
Thanks, guys. It was such an honor to be with you guys. Like, there's so much talent in this one room,
Nice
and
to
I hope to
meet
be
you.
included again, guys. Nice to meet you again.
Bye, Sushi.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Later, Kevin Hart.
Funny,
He's flipping the camera off. I'm
Funny
pretty sure
enough,
somewhere.
he is about the same height as Varian is. He makes jokes, but she's about the same height.
She's very short.
Exactly.
She's short. That video makes her look tall. It's like, but that's how it is. You see somebody on film, and like, oh man, look how tall they are. And then you meet them, and you're like,
Yeah, I got a friend like that. I used to always call him Webster. You're Manuel Lewis. You're like, shut up, Webster.
I've been that person.
That's a reference for old people.
Yeah.
Oh.
The
That's
next
not me.
victim.
I'm a kid alt. That'd be me. Damn. All right.
It is you.
It's the Wayfarer. Yeah.
You look good in pink, my dude.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna play the video.
All right.
I was waiting for Lola to get to start shuffling.
Yeah, so your video makes me want to dance.
Yeah,
Yep.
she was gonna get
I was about to get down there for a
Bothered,
second.
Yeah, that. So it's very. I'm a big fan of anime and mangas, and so it's very. When I asked for this video was being made, something that was energetic and danceable, because that's. I like a lot of animes that are like that. Like say, what's it right now? Black Clover, with their current one, that's got a little dance feel to it. It's all that EDM and everything. So. But with that, I mean, like the first image you saw was of my main character, Amiya, pulling up. Originally, when this was pitched to me, it was the Silver Surfer on meeting the Dark Tower. And I was like, like, I'm not too interested in the Dark Tower part of it, but I started to rethink about it a little bit more. And how I'm going to build this world. And because the first story, the person who wrote it, Jeff Danes, the prelude, it was just basically meant to be showcasing just my doing the sequential artwork alone. No word balloons, no nothing. And so that made me have to definitely sit down and think about how I'm going to draw this, and how it's going to work. So it went through a couple iterations. What you guys are seeing now, like I said, is that director's cut version that, I came along, my art style I got better at the time. I'm a lot better now, but I definitely still work on other things, sequentials and stuff like that. So it's like putting little bits and pieces together, and it just kept growing and growing. And, but this is something where, one of the taglines in there, it's comparing it to, if you like animes like Bleach and Radiant and other things like that, and Dragon Ball Z. Here I've always like with the whole Dragon Ball Z thing, they always like surpass their limit. They always hit that limit where they tap out, and all of a sudden they've got this extra limit that comes out, and they go God mode all of a sudden, and God mode times infinity. So I didn't want that to happen in the storyline. Like, so the world here with the being mana based, it's very similar to say the Onward, where they use more technology now, so it's a bit cyberpunky as well. With instead of using their mana, because mana is tied to unlike stamina, it's tied to your life energy. So the more you exert, the more you age and die faster. So that's why they don't utilize it as often. But there are those that are specialized that can actually do that, do have the ability of either they're destined or chosen. And I'm actually exploring that because there's another book I'm writing right now called Demon Hunter Jose that actually is the prelude to the prelude of Amiya. So it actually talks about how this world, how mana and magic all came about and builds up to this world. So the two are going to tie together eventually in the storyline. But yeah, so I basically, she was supposed to be blonde, and I'm like, I was sitting there drawing her, and like, what are my girls going to cosplay as? So I said, this is not. I wanted something that would be fun, strong, independent women, because that's what I'm raising right now. And so a lot of my kids' personalities are in here, and I wanted them, somebody who could cosplay, and so this whole world has got a ton of different characters. So I'm so happy right now with this 4th issue. I'm just wrapping up. The 5th issue starts, and I'm going to introduce a whole new series of what I think about religion and other things like that, and mythical creatures like vampires and werewolves. So a lot of world building going into this, and I'm very proud of how this first issue comes along. It's a slow burn. So I'm going to give you that right now. This first issue, then it rips right open the 2nd issue and goes straight from there to High Octane right afterwards. So I definitely, if you guys, please, if you consider back, it's already been fully funded. Right now, I'm trying to get to a new stretch goal of 1,000. We're 263 short right now, 21 days left. But the new stretch goal I just added was the cover by Shelby Robertson. And damn,
Shelby. Yeah.
When he did that, he blew it away for me. I mean, I actually had a dream of my character. Like, I was sitting there, like, actually 3D printing her or sculpting her out, because I was trying to, because his lines are just so sick and dope. I mean, if you could, I don't know if you could scroll back down, India, to the last image there, but yeah, he even did the covers. That's right there. He did the colors on that one. I flatted it, but he did the colors. So it's got that sick Shelby Robertson feel to it, and it on the metallic foil, that thing pops. I mean, this is beautiful. But yeah, when he did that one, so it's just like, I couldn't believe what a fantastic job he did. And so now I'm just like gearing up for the 2nd issue with lining up artists and everything. So I'm gonna be knocking on some doors here real quick. It's a lot of people.
Any idea of any plans on maybe doing a actual side skateboard with a print on there?
Yeah, actually, Tone Rodriguez had suggested that. So I actually do have a couple decks that I'll be doing, like not for this campaign, but for later at shows to sell, of the logo and the Wayfarer, and also my doing drawings of Amiya and other different characters as well on different decks.
That's cool. I Also, I like your art signature. It's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I actually this one, Mahmoud Asra, when I was sitting there talking to him, I was looking at him doing this, penning his style. I'm like, damn, that's dope. I need a better one than what I was doing. So just had to throw up in Clip Studio and just did it real quick. And so that's been my SIG.
Yeah,
I on there to make a rubber stamp of it.
It took me like 2 months to find one I liked. And then you start doing your artist signature. At least I did. I started doing it. It was very fancy. It took about 2 minutes, and then you start streamlining it down. And you're like, okay, well, I can get rid of the box. Let me get rid of the shadow box I'm doing. That's kind of redundant. Okay, why is the box there? Okay, does this need to really show? Who the hell do I think I am? And so it gets real simple after a while. Same thing with comic strips. I was doing a comic strip for Randy for Flint Comics, and I would send in my strip, and I would sit back and I would work on this strip, and it was a monthly strip, so I think I got all the time in the world. Well, I can be very detailed, and even if it's cartoony, and you think, oh, I got a month. As well as Randy would do something that he jokes about this when we talk about it, but I remember once I had drawn 3 strips and I sent them all to Randy, and I said, well, sweet, this is going to give me 3 months of, cushion. Well, I picked up Flint Comics that week, and I went out to his house because I live about 45 minutes from Flint, about 45 minutes to an hour. And I drove up and I got the paper from him, and he ran all 3 strips.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, goodbye cushion. Like, did you need these? Like, well, you send them to me, I'm gonna run them. I'm like, there was nothing else. But I was happy to be read. And I don't know why I didn't use that to my advantage and realize, well, hell, if he's willing to do that, I want to make bigger strips. I don't know why I didn't do that. I would do like these 3 to 4 panel gags. When he did that, I should have just started doing multiple,
exactly. Yeah.
I should have went to like 8, 9 grid gags, but I don't know why my mind wasn't there. I guess I just wasn't creatively mature enough to figure that out. Like, oh, well, okay, I'm going to make more room. I'm going to bump Dan Daughtry right off this page because he does Beardo. And it was like, because it would always be Beardo and then Tipsy. The Misadventures of Tipsy the Gnome. This is the character's name. And that particular time, there was Beardo, and there was 3 Tipsy strips. Yes, but I got simplistic in that too. So the more I started drawing it, the more simple it got. So all of a sudden now there's no white in Tipsy's eyes. There's just these black buttons.
Yeah.
And
when you're at a table, you have to you're sitting, you have to do your signature real quick because the next sale.
Yeah, you gotta hurry up.
Don't do anything, cursive and too extreme. So just make it sweet and simple and done, and out you go. So
yeah. That's the Wayfair prelude, fair and away. And I like to play on words there, by the way.
Yeah, the whole thing's got to play on words. I don't know why I did that, but because I'm a fan of old 90s and 80s TV shows, so that always had something, with the title of the show put into it. So so that's where it comes from. But yeah, I'm gonna have to bounce here too, guys. But I appreciate it, everything. This is fantastic. I enjoyed meeting everybody. Hope to again talk to you guys in person and online.
For sure. Yeah, so just hit us up anytime.
Will do, Indy.
All right. Thank you for coming on, sir.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks again.
Bye.
Who's next? Who's the next victim, Lola?
Next victim is dun-dun-dun.
Spider Squirrel. Lots of anamorphic animals are in right here today. I say we put them all in Mortal Kombat type game and fight it out.
Man, look, I'm so glad we didn't have BGD this month.
Yeah.
Real glad we didn't have BGD running this month.
he didn't want to get crushed at the box office.
Man, look, you know how many anthropomorphic books came out this month? Not including the ones that were on here tonight. I'm glad I didn't have nothing to do with that nonsense.
That's a lot.
Tell us about these Spider Squirrel.
So Spider Squirrel, there he is. So Spider Squirrel is it's a buddy cop comedy, superhero action adventure. It's kind of some ways it's a throwback, but it's not. It doesn't. I don't think it feels old at all. It's entertaining. I mean, the characters are right off the bat. There, you'll see. I love that quote from Scott McDaniel. Scott did some covers for us, but right off the bat, you see the interaction between the two characters, Spider Squirrel and Trash Panda. They from the first issue, and that's actually from the first issue right there. And Spider Squirrel's just coming back from an adventure, and Trash Panda's sitting there shirtless on the internet, and they're hashing shit out and just having a good time. You can see they're in a dorm. If you can't tell, the University of Richmond Spiders in the background, and we'll throw in there's always a Jordan something somewhere in an issue or thereabouts, because I'm a Jordan fan, so you'll find.
I was wondering are they eating at movies?
What's that?
Are they eating at movies? Every time I see the bull, movies, yeah, it's a Kevin Smith thing from.
It might be actually. So DC, my artist, man, he throws in all kinds of stuff. Like I blank and I'm like, what is it? Like I didn't even notice the first time I read through that panda in the background in the poster to Spider Squirrel's right. I was like, oh, of course he put a panda in there somewhere. So he's brilliant. He is brilliant for these cool little tributes and nods. So there's Easter eggs that I'm finding from the artist, which is fantastic. So it's a lot of fun. But yeah, man, we're just having fun with this book. His first issue, Spider Squirrel breaks up with his girlfriend, and so now he's going out on dates, and it clearly is not working out well. You can see his face there in the second panel. The dialogue is just, we're having fun. That's actually we're talking about panels on a page. That's a 12 panel page.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and it fits, and the dialogue is just it's the page. The artist is amazing. So anyway, DC Stoltner, guys, gals, if you ever want to hire him, he's busy. But yeah, so that was just some snippets from the first issue. We actually I did something kind of unique in this, I think. Anyway, when we did it, I decided I wanted to have Spider Squirrel kind of bouncing through the multiverse, and but it couldn't just be any multiverse. So he ended up going through the Indie Comics multiverse, and so what I did to make that happen is in the first issue, he actually gets written by several other creators in their universe. So he gets to visit with other superheroes in their universe written by their creators, and then he'll bounce out, and there's a plot device that makes all that happen. So that's kind of what we do. Like issue 2 is carrying that story forward. This right here, one of my proudest things. You see Mikey Ruckus there, Omega Sparks. I should have put a picture of him up in there. And of course, you guys, if you watch AEW, you recognize that face there in that album. Yeah. So Mikey wrote Spider Squirrel's theme song for me, and Omega Sparks did the rap. So the lyrics were just slapped down. I mean, he was spitting everywhere. Dude, it's awesome. I can't wait. So we're releasing that with this issue.
That looks cool. I like the art on this book. This looks really good.
That's Oliver Castaneda. He actually he does the regular covers for me, and eventually he'll have a book when he's not as busy. He'll have a book with me on his own. But this is the first time we're getting to do sequentials together. This part is not written by me. This is one of those interstitials I was telling you guys about, where another creator wrote him into existence in their universe. So he's fallen out of the sky, literally, into his universe, and God only knows what's going to happen. But I know. So,
did you have to rein? You have to rein any creators in? Like, I'm gonna do this, and they're like, hey, wait a minute, man. You don't have to give out names. Just
yeah, like... no. Actually, it wasn't too bad at all. We talked. Everyone was really cool. They kind of gave me their synopsis, because there was only 4 to 8 pages was the limit I gave everybody. Is try to keep it under 8, but more than 4. Tell a story at least. And no one had any issues, and I had very little editing. I mean, the biggest thing for me was, and I told them, I was like, hey, the only catch is, I need to make sure that his voice is consistent, because his voice is my voice. And Dustin knew to ask me offline where the name came from, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. So this is a fun page. This is DC again, the same guy who I mentioned is my regular story artist. We're back to the regular story. You guys can see all interdimensional, multiversal, chronal shit is hitting the fan right now. And that's after a nice little sweet moment. With
is that the Venom Squirrel or the Venom Snail?
I have no idea what Venom is, but this is a character that is not like any other character you've ever seen before
Right.
in a movie that has a sequel, and it has,
Right, absolutely.
That's Snellbia.
Snellbia.
Snellbia. That's who that is. That's not Venom.
And this is the stuff that I didn't write that. This is the stuff DC does, and these little Easter eggs, these little nods, these little tips of the hat, man, they're just visual brilliance.
That's fun, man. Super.
I love it. Yeah. So
and the character wasn't designed to look like you at all, was it?
No, not at all. So this is a true story here. So I was on a show for the first issue months back, and Chamorro, if you're watching, brother, thank you for the idea. So he goes, you know what? I need me a Trash Panda plushie. And I was like, man, if I make one, you're getting the first one. And look what I did. So we're making a Trash Panda plushie. It's one of the hotter items actually on my backers list. It's pretty funny. They're expensive as hell to make.
Yeah.
I gotta just tell you that. So anyway.
Yeah, I definitely looked into that at one point, and I was like, maybe next year we'll do those.
Yeah. Yeah, it hurt a little bit just getting the prototype, which I still haven't gotten physically in my hands yet. So
that's the worst part. That's the worst part.
So, Charlie, this book is shipping when?
It's already done. So as soon as we get funding, if estimates hold true and printing isn't delayed any, we should ship in December at the, maybe early January at the latest. Again, that's all dependent upon shipping, production, and stuff like that. But it ends the 15th. It takes Kickstarter 2 weeks to get the funds out to us. So you're looking at the end of November. If the printer holds true to their current numbers, which they've been really, really thorough, really good with, I should have the actual books about the middle of December, maybe towards a little closer to Christmas. So yeah, you'll probably have them in your grubby little hands by January.
Very cool.
Dutch just backed it.
Dutch, that's what's up, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll be backing this one too. Now, you can get number 1 and 2.
Yeah. There's a physical catch up, and actually on my webpage you could also buy the original. So I was completely self-published on the first issue, and then I joined Freestyle Comics in the second one. So there's actually going to be 2 first printings of the number 1 issue because I have a new publisher, publishing group. So yeah, the physical catch up right there will get you you get that Mikey Ruckus dope theme song. You also get a physical print copy of Spider Squirrel number 1 regular cover and the regular cover for Spider Squirrel number 2. But if you scroll down, you see all the other covers. If you want to add those, you could add any one of those covers or all of those covers on at the same time too. So, hello,
We
Flower.
have a guest.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am so good.
Hold on, that guest had a book just start this evening.
She just launched it. Yeah.
Don't let me interrupt you. Keep going.
No, you're good. I can keep flowing. So guys, hop in, and this is so much fun. We had a blast doing this. I think the creative team, when they read the script, they were like, "This is hilarious. We want to read that. We want to write this. We want to draw this. We want to do whatever." So had guys jump in. So a lot of fun. Don't think too much about it. I don't explain shit to you. People go, "Well, how do you get his powers?" I don't even tell you. You just got to figure it out. Because we're just going to jump right in and have fun. That's Trash Panda right there. One of my favorite covers. I had to put that as the thumbnail because he's kicking some ninja butt.
You know what this image reminds me of? Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, it's so funny. I get that all the time, and that's fine. The only difference is Trash Panda has a raccoon tail. He's a were-panda coon.
I'm all for creatures that are like squished together.
Whoa, were-panda coon?
Oh man, I make shit up as I go. I do refer to him as that.
It's terrifying and terrifying because everyone knows, variant in the word where
15%, honey badger too.
Yeah,
probably. He's a college guy.
You guys know I wear the raccoon hat.
I saw that.
To conventions. Or I started here on the show because it needed to be funny and it just stuck. And I go to Comic-Cons. People always think, "Oh man, I love your hat. I love your hat." I'm like, "Thank you." And some people just reach out and grab it. They pet it. They want to touch the tail, which is a lot better than when I used to wear a fro because people, "Can I touch your hair?" Yeah, touch your
Oh
hair.
my God.
It was kind of weird, but like, yeah, go ahead. Now they just grab the tail. But I want to make a public service announcement. If you walk up to me and you see the hat, remember there is a proper name for that. You can say you have a what's the guy's name? Daniel Boone hat.
Daniel Boone.
You can say you have a, they will never wear a hat like this, but whatever. You can say that you have a raccoon hat on. You can say you have a coonskin hat on. Do not walk up to me and say, "Hey, nice coon hat."
No,
because there's a point where I'm gonna turn and say, "What you say?" Because see, I can get canceled when I hear coon hat. My mind's like, "What the fuck did you just say?" Like, and I'm immediately thinking like, I think New York Yankees. I don't know why. And I'm like, but I'm like, this is a coonskin hat. You know what it's called. You're doing that on purpose. But yeah. No,
ignorant to be ignorant.
Yeah, it's like, because I'm waiting for somebody. Hey, nice hat, coon. I mean, a nice coonskin hat. I'm waiting for that. So I can grab them. That'd be great. No, you got a couple of, but everybody go check out Spider Squirrel over on the Kickstarter.
So, thank you, Dustin. You had asked earlier before the show where the name come from, and I gave you the quick version of it. So I told you guys backstage I was an American Ninja Warrior season 10, Miami. So Miami people in the house, yay! Actually, I trained before that. I trained in obstacle course races and all this other stuff. Go to World Championships, yay me! But I was training to put together a demo reel for Ninja Warrior one day in the gym I eventually bought, and two kids named Alex were arguing over what kind of animal I looked like, and Alex B goes, "Look at him, he's like a spider with his long arms and legs, and look at him climb, see he's climbing." And then I was like, oh gosh, whatever. And then the other Alex C goes, "No, he looks like a squirrel, just not as obnoxious. No, as obnoxious." And I go, "Yeah, definitely that, And so, but they kept arguing. I mean, I swear to you, it was like for like a 5, 6, 7 minute argument. And I was like, guys, I got it. I'll just be a spider squirrel." And it came out of my mouth, and I go, oh shit, I'm getting that printed up on my pants. And so I did. So that was my athlete name. Yeah, it became my athlete name in Spartan races, Spartan World Championships, Ninja. It just stuck. Then eventually I made it a superhero. So that's why he looks like me.
I am an absolute fan of that whole origin story.
I like that. Speaking of names, by the way, we've been joined by Krista. Hello, ma'am.
Hi. How's it going?
No problem. It's going. Sushi left, so now I got to pick on you. So you came in just in time. You came in. Dustin's already taken enough of my abuse. Yeah, it's really bad. Don't know what to do. Matt left. He had to leave. I'm out of people to pick on.
Well, that's okay. I'm a tough cookie.
I'm used to picking on people named Krista. You have to understand. People named Krista usually. Your name's Krista? I'm gonna fuck with you. All right, check this out. I try to be good. I like Spider Squirrel. Lola, make sure it's on the back list. She's like, yes, my liege. I don't get called liege around here at all. Lola, you have Dustin's project, correct?
Oh lordy.
And I have to ask Krista, did we? I know you got a tough job.
We officially launched 2 hours ago. Well, 2.5 hours ago.
Almost funded.
Ooh. We're going real strong.
Drop a link. Oh, that one. Yeah.
I was like, wait, that's not my comic.
We have to,
we got to give the love to some greed.
Yeah, we gotta put this up. It's part of the contract. I'm just kidding.
We signed contracts?
Yeah. You didn't get one? Uh-oh. jump scare. If you're listening on the radio, by the way, you can't see it, but we're seeing scenes from Greed too. We'll talk about video by Rage and AVC, Sneed and Meredith, management company of
Man, you wait till you see what we've got coming for y'all down the pipe.
You got what's this?
69 hours.
Ooh,
you know, I happened to time that just right for this show.
This show, yeah.
For this show in particular. We only need 139 more to hit
3,000.
Yeah, really. I think we can do that. I'm really excited about that. Man, this book has been so much fun. We actually just added the Steph Wilson October Halloween cover because of the fact my birthday was the 27th of this month. The very first issue of The Listener dropped on the 27th of last year. And this is the end of our very first fiscal year doing comic books. So I'm really, really excited about it. And that came out a lot of fun. The cover's super good.
Yeah, and I know you got a C. Michael Lanning cover.
Yeah. We got a C. Michael Lanning cover. We've got Steph Wilson covers. We've got David Ocampo covers. There's a Justin Hunt cover on there that's absolutely stunning. There's some covers by April Reyna on there that are absolutely awesome.
Her cover is so amazing.
Right? She does incredible covers for me every book I put out. I love working with her. She's a great member of our team. That Blacklight cover was one of everybody's favorites. You know, it was just a really stunning cover. Our buddy David Fott is getting, he's on the mend after, dealing with some cancer and stuff. But he did these beautiful pieces beforehand, covered by Gwen, Dallegalt. She's great. She does a bunch of colors for us. She also did the color for the Justin Hunt cover right there. We have an incredible team, and I'll always call them teammates. We don't have contractors because you'll see that with the fact we have 3 IPs with a couple more to come next year, that our teammates move in between the books. You'll see them if you like your cover artists. In fact, there's actually tiers in this campaign that you can get covers from there that they've done previously for us on other books and whatnot. So super excited about this one.
There's the team.
There's the team. The team is awesome.
I love that. I love how you have all your variant cover artists listed down below too.
Oh man, they're great.
I feel like lacking in my own Kickstarter, and let alone in any other Kickstarter that I've looked at. Most of them have like the creator and like the main interior artist, but like the variant cover artists don't ever get like mentioned in the team section.
So I've learned something in the past, 3 Kickstarters that we've done. And it was the fact that people are, it's weird because artists, there's a thing, and it's like a faux pas. Dude, I didn't even know that. That's incredible.
Dutch is an amazing flatter.
No one told me
you
that.
Haven't used him.
Well, apparently I do, and I didn't even know it. I apologize. I am so sorry because she never told me. His name would be on there too, man.
He's our secret ninja that we are trying to spread word about because he's so awesome.
He just scoots in, and I don't know.
He's like poof magic. I'm like, wait.
Now you've got me to the point where I'm like, man, I need to go find out who these other flatters are and give them, some props for being on the books. But
I'll be honest, my colorist, and I hate saying that because I was told recently that saying my colorist or my inker is actually bad. You shouldn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was told that you should. But the person that colors for me has a bad habit over the last couple of years of leaving his name off of the finished piece. And I used to say, hey, man, you have to add your name. What's going on? And then I thought about it. I had myself a evil genius moment. And I said, no, let him keep his name off of it.
Oh.
This way, people can't hire him from up under you. They don't know who he is. So now I don't say anything. He just colors it, turns it. I'm like, thank you. And now if it's in the comic, I will post it in the credits.
Right,
I'll write his name. But if he doesn't put his name signature up there, what signature?
I get it. So,
it's horrible. I feel bad, but I do it all.
I think it's we're coming on into something very interesting with Greed. As the first book, we introduced Oz and we introduced Cade, and you find out that monsters under the bed exist. You find out that gods, demons, deities all exist. And there's very little space that's actually separating us from them, and there are certain people that can tread between this space. And I think that we got a little bit of super high intensity in the first issue. You got to really find like you're stuck in the middle of this battle between this massive minotaur type creature and a kid and his monster under the bed. It's like where the wild things are gone wrong, right? So we get into issue 2, and now we're starting to show you that we're bringing out bigger guns. Bringing in Lilith was a big thing for us because this book ties into the world of the listener, and the listener is big on Native American theology, and mythology as well. So now with these books being tied together, we're starting to show beings from other groups of theologies and belief systems. So I was like, man, if we're going to bring a bad one in, man, let's bring one in that people know and they can relate to just a little bit, and we'll play to that character's strengths and that being's persona in our own way. Make it just different enough to where you understand who it is, what you're getting, and whatnot, but you're also getting our take on it because the character's been done before numerous times. So we had to give it our own flair. She's my Eric Northman, and I love that. I absolutely love that type of character. My own, you hate this character, but you love this character, So this all leads into this book plays into the big introduction between these 3 characters. But in the next issue, we're building toward the crossover, and it'll be the first crossover we've done between the listener and Greed. So you'll see characters from the listener show up, and they'll be around for a while. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's odd that you mentioned that because I've got a story, and first of all, I got a story with a little character, and he's like a little goblin,
right?
And I remember there were so many people with goblins, and I'm like, oh man, I did mine a while ago, but I'm like, oh, people gonna start thinking that we all copied each other. But then I got characters like I was joking with who was it the other night, Dwayne. With his book, his vampire book, Awakening, Michael's Awakening, A Nightfall, Michael's Awakening. He has a character named Lucius in there, who's a bad guy. Well, my comic has a character named Lucius, who's the main bad guy, who's the father of the hero. And I'm like, oh crap, man, we both have the same thing. And then you got a Lilith, or you got a Lilith. I got a
Lilin, yep.
Which is because I didn't want to name her Lilith, but she's I based her look off of Lola, but she's my universe is Starscream or Dr. Smith.
Right on.
She's into self-preservation. She will screw over anybody to get, where she wants to hide that I made her like my wife. It's quite telling. But yeah, so it's weird that we, all it tells me is I got to put my book out first. So that I can say, Dustin, Dwayne, all these motherfuckers stole from me, and I need my shillings.
I'll say this. I'll say shillings, and it's funny that you mentioned that. Because we were talking about that before the show started. We had Michael did Nita and Meredith as dinosaurs for BGD as a fun promo that we were doing, and I was like, she was like, man, you should put me in the dinosaur book. And I was like, you know what? I could do that. That'd be funny. You know what? And there's your shillings variant. I'll turn into a dinosaur for another issue coming up.
I'm on the side of a building downtown Detroit on Michigan Avenue. There's a variant. He's up there. I got this coonskin cap on. I'm looking down at the comic. It's
I'm making it happen because I'm excited about it now. Because the hat, especially, because raccoons are not going to exist in the world of BGD, so it's going to be really funny with how it pans out. But I think that all the books that we've shown tonight are very you mention things that they have in common, things that we see in common. But I find it incredibly interesting that they're all different and unique in their own ways. I honestly think they were all, with the exception, of one of them that is trying to give you the nostalgia factor. You know what I mean? All the other ones stand out in their own unique way that you don't even go, man, I'm not getting that. I'm getting their unique, and they're cool because their uniqueness,
I mean, how many stories have a different version of the devil that we've all seen, and someone brings a very different spin to the character,
right?
To where now it's like, because for the longest, to me, Al Pacino was the devil.
Yeah,
he was great. Like he did. And then the guy in the Days is pretty good too. But,
oh man, the Schwarzenegger movie, so good.
Yeah. Because I mean, that guy just walked into the I don't know if you guys remember the opening of that movie. The guy gets possessed. He walks into a restaurant and just pulls out a woman's. You guys remember that? Yeah. I mean, just pulls it out.
Yeah, I remember.
And it's like, I remember watching that movie. Like, oh, I'm a man now.
Yeah,
I was little, and I was just like,
yeah. That was that, but that was such a like a mind fuck. That movie was so just.
No one did anything. No one did. You could. How 90s was that? You just walk in a restaurant, a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
Grab a woman's breast. I mean, expose it. Like, here, everybody, take a look at this.
Yeah. Well, when your president comes out and says you can just grab people with hoo-has, I mean, no one cares no more. So,
but that was the 90s. There was stuff that happened in the 90s that you can't get away with, and even the 2000s. Like, I made this joke last night. Enrique Iglesias' "You Can't Escape My Love" song. Listen to the lyrics today and tell me, like, Enrique, not sure we should be playing this song on the radio. I mean, he straight up says, "You can't escape my love." I don't care how romantically you say it, how deep in the microphone.
Yeah.
Here's how it goes. No. And you're telling how it goes. Like, here's how it's going. You can't escape my love.
You don't get to say no.
In the video, he follows her into the women's bathroom and makes out with her. It's like, this video was all types of wrong. But I mean, I've also been, I'm cultured now. I realize there are things that I can't do, things I should not say. It's made me 20% less funny, but it is what it is. But you guys need to go over there and check out, if you listen on Indie Vote Radio, go over and check out Greed 2. It's on Kickstarter as well, ending in 69 hours. So, guys, get over and check it out. And while you're doing that, Wolf and I, for Miss Krista, Fleur de Villani, which sounds like, I used to live on Fleur de Lace. So, the fact that it's Fleur de Villani, Fleur de Villani, is, I could live on that street, dude. It'd be great. Everyone be an asshole. Double park the cars. It'd be great. Not take the trash when I cut the grass, or cut the grass at 6:30 in the morning, like my neighbor. Anyway, I'm sorry. I was venting. I have a neighbor who cuts his grass at 6:30.
In a land slowly overtaken by darkness, eyes peer into every nightmare. Tread carefully, take heed and beware, for creatures crawl throughout the night. Secrets of history shall come to light. Internal powers before unknown, choices are made, worlds are shown. Two heroines are faced with the choice to band with friends and unite their voice. Against this evil they must stand. The fate of Crayweth lays in their hands.
All right, Disney, eat your heart out.
Yeah. You know what I like about that too? Like a lot of times people do videos and they put pictures of the comic in. It's like sometimes you can't even see, you can't tell what's going on in the photo. And there were nice big photos. They were nice. None of them seem boring. They all into the story. I like that. It's pretty cool. $1,291. Chris, I can't see her goal. Okay, 1,500 goals. So she's almost there. Is that 31 days to go? Is that days? 31 days. Oh, she's gonna go past that. Oh, are you muted? We can't hear you.
Oh, that's helpful. Yes, it's 1,500. So we are almost there. We're 86% of the way funded, which is crazy because we just launched a couple of hours ago, but I'm super excited. This will be my fastest funded Kickstarter. This is issue 3. We have so many variant covers. We have so much swag this time. It's super fun, and I'm really excited. We've got some great artists that have come on to do some, classic and pinup style based on the character and characters. We've got one that's not quite in final, but it is available and will be done before the Kickstarter is finished. All the covers are going to be launched as a limited to 10 gold edition as an add-on, as a stretch goal if we hit that. And then we've got magic metal prints. We've got t-shirts. We've got whiskey cups, all the things. But it's a fantasy adventure where 2 college students end up having their life turned upside down when they get transported to this world of Crayweth, where it's being taken over by these evil werewolf shapeshifters. Basically, they're demonic shapeshifters that can turn into wolves, and they're wanting to take over the land and control the powers of it. And so they have to band with these new friends that they've made and realize that they have potential and internal powers, and discovering what those are, and working their way up to this big battle.
See that? Werewolves, not to be trusted. You guys don't believe me, but they are the worst creatures ever. They have fleas and rabies and exposed units sometimes. It's I seen the movie. His big werewolf being was plopping around.
I don't know nothing about that movie.
On top of you getting chased through the woods by this thing, now while he's devouring your sweet flesh, it's gonna be hitting you. Horrible! I can't imagine it. Wolf and I though. You're werewolves. Would there be any gore in this book? Will you at least kill some werewolves for me, Krista?
There will be a little bit of gore and a little Disney-esque gore. So there'll be blood, there'll be biting, there'll be fights. And in issue 3, there's already a little bit of a skirmish. So you'll get to see some of it, but it won't be, to the length of some of these mature rated. We try to keep in the T rating or PG-13 rating for our violence.
Because in God's hand, there's a werewolf attack. And the werewolves all get to come up, and I'm like, fuck yeah. Look at all that werewolf ass. It's everywhere. Tail is over there, a head's over there. Yeah, this is the good stuff. This is what I came to see. You'll provide that for me, right?
Oh yeah, you'll get your adventure out of this one, that's for sure. And especially as we move on through the next issues, as we delve deeper and deeper into the politics and the battles and the a lot of the first 3 issues is story building. I tried to stay away from the 99% action in my comics and build up these characters and build up these where you're like, wait, what are they going to do next? And really feel for them like you would if you're reading a traditional science fiction or fantasy book where you just have that connection with them.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Now that's you're gonna go past your goal. Lola, could you scroll down for me?
That's my goal. My goal is to hit my goal and then keep climbing up higher. Yeah. We've got some really awesome stretch goals. One of the things that's available at the beginning is our Wolf and I t-shirts.
Let's bring it on me. Let me bring you up on full screen. Is that the shirt there?
Yeah, so this is the long sleeve version. I have the short sleeve available on the Kickstarter. I did a couple of samples just so I could see what people liked, and people wanted the t-shirts more. So there'll be 4 colors. They'll be navy blue, maroon, black, and heather gray, and they'll all be printed with gold screen printing.
That's cool. I like the shirt idea. It's especially long sleeve. I don't have enough long sleeve shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I need more.
You know, we talked about that the other day. Black shirts are the way to go.
Black shirt, and the gold looks so good on the black shirts. Like,
For sure.
my thing that I'm super excited about is when we hit 75 backers, we're unlocking the Glencairn hand-etched whiskey glasses. So it's going to have our logo on them. I actually have them, and this is a picture of the one that I have here in the kitchen. But for those of us who like our spirits, it's the perfect glass in order to appreciate the aromas, in order for it to aerate, and then for flavor itself.
Yeah.
Plus, its logo with the Wolf and I logo. So I mean, you can't go wrong there.
But it's a wolf logo, Krista. And you know what? I say that when knowing that if I ever got a chance to own a weird animal, it's gotta be a wolf. That's your pin?
That is my pin. Yeah. So we have wolf pins that we have a few left over that are available as add-ons, a limited. And then those are the meow pins. So that's one of our creatures. So again, it's a cat owl. So as I was referring to, I love splashing animals together. So this is my version of squishing them. And it won't be the first or the last animal that gets spliced together in my fantasy realm. But it is 1.5 inches. It's on black pewter, and we've already ordered them, so they're going to be well ahead of time before we even start fulfillment.
Cool.
And then everything else is sourced locally. It's all here from Arizona, so
all made in America. You know,
everything except for the pins.
I was telling someone we don't really promote that as much as we should. Like most of our printing is done in America. And we don't really print, we don't, I mean, I know some people don't print in America because it's financial reasons, but, when those of us who do, even with Liberty, we didn't print. We didn't tell people we print those books in America, and we did. We should have been proud of that. That was 27,000 comics.
I'm proud of who prints my books.
Yeah. It's like, we print these right here because I think that.
Let me just I was gonna do a stream and I'm like, let me just print it off and I'll put the book right here, you can watch the process.
Yeah.
With the billions of stacks of empty paper boxes behind me.
If you're listening on Indie Vote Radio, that's Wolf and I. You've got 31 days left to go over there to Kickstarter and get it, but she just launched today.
Yeah, it was at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time she launched.
And she's almost funded. Get over there, make this happen. Let's get it funded within just a couple of hours.
That'll be super exciting. The first time we've ever funded in one day, if that hits it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's a good feeling. And you don't forget that one. That's a big one, dude.
And it's all up and up from there.
Absolutely. I think you know what one great piece of advice somebody gave me is to not beat yourself up constantly with that. Though.
Yeah.
Not to try to always smash your own goals, because we funded BGD in 21 minutes. And it was I don't know if I can ever fund in 21 minutes again, but you know what I mean? Maybe, that's pretty cool. We can try that again sometime. But, you guys are doing really well. You've got a great product. It's pretty in a way that it's, I would buy my daughter for her birthday or for Christmas, it's very interesting. And once again, that goes back to that originality thing, and you'll hear me almost every live stream I'm on. I talk about it because it's so important. There are people out there that just slap a different color on something and try to call it their own. And that's far from how to make it in the indie industry, in my opinion, anyway. Making things your own is so important.
So before we wrap up, because we are way past our time, I got one more to show, and of course it's mine.
Yay!
Oh, I can go sleep on this one.
Oh.
So I'm gonna play the female trailer, and we'll go from there.
Can't hear anything. Yay!
You're
dropping the ball. Dropping the ball.
I am. All right.
Wanted something so much, you would do anything to get it? I do. I will go to any party, be with anyone, just to get noticed by Blair, the one who controls invites. I lust to get into lore. Do you?
No, because I know what happens.
He said, "Man, I do not want to go to that party."
No.
Here's the other one. So both these videos will explain the whole book, pretty much.
It all started with an invite. Then you wake up in a cage. You would never expect what happens next. Who lives? Who dies? Are you ready to get lured?
He reminds me of that dude from Saw.
That was the voiceover for that was Randy Zimmerman.
Yeah, Randy did that a while ago, and
Yeah.
people couldn't. His own wife didn't think it was him. Just like that's not you. Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I have 8 days left to go, and I did meet my goal, but I am trying to get to 1,000. So I'm gonna try to make it happen.
Make it happen, cat.
You got this. You could do it.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
If she
Better
doesn't,
than amount of time.
if she doesn't, I'll have to hear about it for weeks.
No, I'm happy. It funded. I'm happy. I can't wait to get the book in my hand. First book.
There you go.
Yeah, you've published several books, but this is your first time creating one, so
I created it and wrote it. Yes, first time.
there is a mini you behind you. I believe it's.
Yes. The mini me just got back from hockey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that off the screen.
We had I had to send mine to bed early because he was obnoxious. So
It just turned 8 years, so it's almost bedtime.
Yeah. I sent mine to bed at 7:30. He's like, "My bedtime's 8." I'm like, "Boss, 30 minutes, sir."
Parent rules. Things change.
Charlie, where can people find you at?
I'm pretty accessible. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find Spider Squirrel on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. So look me up, you'll find me, and Trash Panda and all the silly shit we get into.
And the link to your campaign is in the description of the video on YouTube and Facebook. So
it is.
People, you guys listen on Indie Vote Radio can go over there and check it out. Dustin, how about you?
I'm pretty easy.
I've heard.
Hey, I'm just honest about that. So there's you guys can find me just about anywhere just by looking at my name. I got a link tree. You guys go to linktree.com and you can look me up on Linktree as well. All my links are on there, including the current Kickstarters. They're normally on there. And if you have comment questions or anything, or questions about my IPs, any of my IPs, you can just reach out to me on Facebook because it's attached to me like an umbilical cord. I'll wake up at 2 and 3 in the morning answering questions just because I can't help myself because I do so many Kickstarters. I'm used to that little ting going off next to my bed. So
and feel free to send any dick pics to Dustin.
Yeah,
he'll gladly accept them.
Absolutely. I'll give you.
I got one and a video sent to me just a couple minutes ago.
How does this happen? You know what? Better yet, I don't even need to know how it happens. Anyway, you can find me at Facebook very easily at Dustin Brunell on Facebook.com. You can also look me up on the listener. I don't think the listener stuff is tied to my link tree, but I normally answer all that stuff too. So
the way to get that to happen to you is just be a female on the internet. I'm very grand, everybody. KYD_V on Twitter. Check out ledg.us for independent comic distribution, helping you get your independent comics in stores all over. Indie Vote Radio. Download that on Google if you have an iPhone. please download TuneIn or Streamer. You can find Indie Vote Radio on there, and you can always ask your Alexa device to play Indie Vote Radio for you. If you got a Roku, and you should, download Indie Vote TV, and that's our streaming network. It's all free. Have fun. I've given it all to you. Everything.
Yeah. And
Krista.
Krista.
Super easy to find me. I'm everywhere at Fleur de Villainy, the flower of villains. I'm on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all the things, Twitch, and all of the above. So you can find me there. And then you can follow the comic that has its own individual page at Wolf and I Comic on Instagram.
Awesome. And guys, you know, I am hard to track down. So the best way to do it is go to Linktree, indie_princess. All my links are there. And that is it for tonight's show. I want to thank everybody for coming on, and to all our listeners all around the world. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.